franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
After the Marine Corps, I was diagnosed with PTSD and became homeless for 15 years. Like a hermit living on the street, I just existed. I came to Wheeler Mission. Wheeler operates on a culture of kindness. Going through their programs reminded me that my meaning in life is to serve God. God set me free from anxiety and depression. Before Wheeler, I just existed, but today I live.
Sprinkles if you got them. Jack's Donuts, find a location near you, now.
Hey, Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
I get her, not solo.
You see if I did it?
Good evening and welcome to Senior Night in Whitestown, Indiana. Traders Point High School is our venue and our matchup. Traders Point, the Knights, and the Warriors of Covenant Christian in a bounce-back game for these two in a broadcast that is brought to you by our friends at the Morales Group, Bertner Electric, IU Sports Management, Piper Logistics, and Reynolds Farm Equipment. Hi, everybody. I'm Jonathan Mathis. Clark Chafflin, Tom St. Amon, Greg Smith, and Justin Griffiths is our entire crew in various roles. And tonight's matchup, we're happy to bring to you two teams in much need of a win, Clark.
Oh, absolutely. Both teams had a rough go of it in week one and looking to bounce back for sure as we get to week two.
They had rough ones last week, and both of them would admit very freely to that, as they did to us. And when we talked to them this week, Traders Point fell down to Heritage Christian 55-20, and Covenant Christian suffered the second worst loss in program history to open the season against Speedway, 41-0. And Clark, it was a surprise for both of these teams. Covenant was in the top 5 entering that game a week ago. Traders Point thought they could hang and potentially beat Heritage Christian, and then reality came in hard.
Boy, it was a tough week last week. If you look at Covenant Christian, and in talking to Coach, it was a wake-up call. They had a good opening drive and threw a pick in the end zone, but they were able to have some good passing and get the passing game going through the air. The defensive pressure, though, on Flat really got to him, and he was only able to throw for 125 yards, which an all-state caliber like Tony Flat, you're going to expect him to answer strongly tonight. For Traders Point, again, as you mentioned, Jonathan, they fell 55-21, but they led 6-0, had a nice opening drive, but again, the turnovers really got to them as well. And defensively, making sure they tackle and tackling and taking care of the running game. Heritage Christian had a wonderful success at running the ball last Friday night.
So it's going to be interesting when you look at just how go from week to week, and if you're going to have any point in the season where you just want to lay an egg and grow from it, might as well do it in week 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Week 1, from week 1 to week 2 is where you're going to experience the most improvement and the growth. Both teams have challenged themselves in practice this week, gone back to fundamentals, really have just broken things down and really worked hard and getting back to their game plan as they look forward to tonight's game.
Both coaches said their practices were very impressive. Traders Point's head coach Sam Carnes, he said this was the best, most intense, hardest days of practice, hardest week of practice since he'd been at Traders Point in the last 3 years. And for Covenant Christian, it was a lot brought onto the team, a wake-up call for them. And if you want to see how these teams are going to wake up, which ways do you want to see that? And before we get to that point, we'll take a little breather. And when we come back, we're going to hear from Clark. What do you want to see tonight from these two teams to bounce back? But tonight it is Traders Point and Covenant Christian on IndianaSRN. Welcome back to Whitestown. So, Clark, what do these two teams, Covenant Christian and Traders Point, what do you want to see out of them tonight to just get back on track with where they want to be, which is a winning ball club this year?
Well, Jonathan, for Covenant Christian, I think they just want to get the ball in the end zone. They had opportunities last week, but certainly came against a strong team in Speedway, very athletic. Tony Flat with only 125 yards and not getting in the end zone. You're going to want to expect them to really respond and play hard and be competitive from that standpoint, knowing that they didn't play to their capabilities. And if you're Traders Point, it's senior night, so you already have some emotion there, and you're just looking for some balance there from the Knights. Cooper Simmons Little had an awesome week 1 with 371 yards. Got to get that running game going and keep that pass-run balance to keep the defense on their toes.
I'm glad you mentioned Cooper Simmons Little, the senior quarterback for Traders Point, along with the senior quarterback for Covenant Christian, Tony Flat. Both of them are nearing a pretty significant landmark in their passing yardage total, and this is a big help from Simmons Little's almost 400-yard performance last week against Heritage Christian, but he is 176 yards away from David Hart's 2701, 2,701 yard school record. And then Tony Flatt for Covenant Christian, he is 164 away from 3,000 for Covenant. So if you're looking at something to watch tonight, we'll monitor it as we go. Passing numbers, will they fall? We'll see next on Indiana SRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Indiana SRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Well, the weather outside is perfect tonight for Covenant Christian Traders Point, Week 2 of the IHSAA football season here in Indiana SRN. 77 degrees. It won't cool off much. It's mostly sunny / wonderful outside. Not much wind. It comes out of the west. No chance of rain, and we're gonna have sunlight for most of this first half. And if we're going to shine some light on these two teams, Clark, we already touched on the quarterbacks. What other non-quarterbacks are you looking at? Do you want to see from tonight?
Well, looking at the Trader Point Knights ball club, they run that up-tempo 4-receiver set, and Justin Kirk and the running back does a nice job of gaining yards and falling forward and powering through contact. But you got to look at a couple of these receivers. Philip Moran he's quick and explosive, and one of those slot receivers that you kind of see on Sundays in the NFL type of athleticism. He had 46 catches last year for 733 yards and 5 touchdowns. Last week, he almost had 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Colton Pollard also had 99 yards and a touchdown. So there's plenty of weapons for Cooper Simmons to go to. And meanwhile, for Covington, their wide receiver core, they run more of a pistol option with the run pass and let Tony Flatt kind of have those decisions and put his team in the best positions. Luke Munoz had 2 receptions for 69 yards. One of those guys that can really go up and get that jump ball. And Daniel Shin was a long threat receiver as well. He had 1 reception for 51 yards. And Gavin Tyndall, their leading returner receiver, had 30 catches last year. He was 3 receptions for 16 yards, so more of a possession guy. But definitely these two quarterbacks, dual threats, look they're going to put the ball in the air, and they need to have success both on the ground and in the air for their teams to be on top.
So the captains across your screen, left to right, Philip Moran, Hawk Johnson, Christian Heiser, and Cooper Simmons Little in blue. That's Traders Point. And then for Covenant Christian is Gavin Tyndall, Wyatt Bowman, Tony Flatt, and John Neighbors. And both these teams go both ways, which is, I think you saw the downside of that. I mean, they have to do it out of necessity. But you saw the downside of that last week when if you start to get behind it, you get tired, and then defense kind of falls away.
Well, and then you become one-dimensional, right? And so if your offense, if the defense knows you're going to throw every play because you're down 2 touchdowns or 2 scores or 3 scores, then the defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to pin their ears back and attack the quarterback. And once again, that puts you at a disadvantage to a certain extent.
So it'll be Traders Point getting the opening kickoff. Last year, a little stroll down memory lane between these two teams. Very close rivals. 14 miles separates these two schools. Covenant has won 6 of the 8 matchups. They played basically every year that Covenant's been a program, and although they did not play in 2020, Covenant Christian, if you take a peek onto John Harrell's website, they're the favorite tonight, expected to win. They are still ranked in the AP at number 11, so they fell from 3 to 11, but they're still there, mostly off of reputation. A lot of players on this team were state champions a couple years ago, at least the senior class is. And then last year, Traders Point was down to Covenant Christian 26-8. Remember that number, 26-8 in the first half, and then went on a tear in the second half. Covenant Christian held on to win 26-22, though, and something that happened last year in this game. Cooper Simmons-Little was erratic. He was erratic all year as a passer, and he showed a lot better form last week. So we'll see if that continues into this week, and we'll see if Tony Flatt and the Warriors are able to pick it up as they're going to go to defense first to begin week 2.
And, Jonathan, just to touch on that, from a series record, Covenant leads the Traders Point series 6-2. So this is the 9th game here in the series. And like you said, it's been very competitive. Well-played game last year. Traders Point showing a lot of heart in that comeback. Just fell a little short. So we expect an exciting game. Both teams got to recharge their batteries, get back to fundamentals, really just work hard in practice and see if they can make that improvement from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah, last year, John Neighbors rushed for 166 yards on 25 carries. Traders Point doesn't want to see a duplicate of that as we are underway. This kick chased all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Nothing doing for Philip Moran. Traders Point will start at the 20, and they'll start like this. Cooper Simmons-Little's the quarterback. He is 30 of 46, had one of the best opening games of anybody in the state a week ago for 371 yards. He completed 65% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Justin Kirk is the running back, only 32 yards for him on the ground. Philip Moran, outstanding receiver, 2 yards short of 100. He's joined by Jack Shavey, Anthony Dunville, who was a revelation, a transfer, and we'll touch on that later. Colton Pollard is the outside receiver. Hawk Johnson, Calvin Falk, Nick Bartles, Gus Westerfield, and Christian Heiser left to right on the offensive line as we're underway. Quick hitter, incomplete.
Yeah, just a quick slant to get some positive yards. I think both teams want to get ahead of the sticks and make a second down and third down, make it a short field, and get some positive plays going. Unfortunately, had a drop pass there.
That was Justin Kirk, the running back, 0 for 1 for Simmons-Little, as second down and 10 is dawning. Ryan Kowal in motion. Simmons-Little flicks it over, and a first completion of the gain of about 5 on the play. That was to Philip Moran.
Yeah, a little just fake to that jet sweep there just to get the defense to bite, open up that slant route behind the linebackers. Nice catch and caught the ball before he made a move, so that's exactly what you want to do from that wide receiver standpoint, make it a manageable third down.
3rd and 4. They'll try it on the ground. Eli Meals. No, ball's free. It was Justin Kirk. It's scooped up by Philip Moran.
Johnny on the spot. Ball comes right to you and has the presence of mind to know where he's at on the field and head up down the field.
So Kirk had it, lost it. Moran, the senior, one of the best receivers in school history, has just crossed over the 1,100-yard mark. Was able to scoop it up, and here's the new change of downs for the Knights.
A successful first series there, first down the string, a couple more, then you'll be in Covenant territory.
Moran way behind him, incomplete. The starting defense for Covenant Christian Timmy Adelican is one of the defensive ends. He's really quick, and they're very high on him. Nose guard Elijah Carlson, Cole Thomas, and Jet Foster are on that defensive line. John Neighbors, Wyatt Bowman, Gavin Tyndall, the linebackers. Carter Bell and Isaac Niemeyer are the cornerbacks, safeties Landon Ross and Luke Munoz.
Jonathan, right away, I'm noticing that Traders Point's putting Kirk out in the wide receiver position, but giving out 5 wide.
Oh, it floated out there, and it's working well for Traders Point. Tight roping down the sideline was Pollard. As you heard the PA announcer, 15 yards for Pollard. Pollard, a bit of a breakout game last week. 5 catches, 99 yards. That is just under 20-yard average for the sophomore. And here's 1st and 10. Kirk is gobbled up, but got a couple.
As good defensive push there by the defensive line of Covenant, was able to hang on to that shoestring tackle. Cole Thomas was able to dive in through the line and hold on to Kirk for just a minimal gain.
2nd and long. 2nd and 9. 10:41 on the clock.
Stay with the official. Stay with the ref. Go left. Go left. Go left.
So a little play clock issue, and we'll continue rolling. So far, Simmons Little, the quarterback for Traders Point, 2 for 6 for 26 yards. Most of those, 15 of them, 2 plays ago to Colton Pollard.
Yeah, it was a nice out pattern by Pollard. Ball was caught in a nice catchable spot right above his head, away from the defense. Threw Pollard open, did Cooper Simmons Little, and was able to get a 1st down, their 2nd of the game.
2nd and long. Pulls it back, brought it back too, and it's incomplete to Moran.
Boy, John, that looks like a lot of congestion on those routes. It seemed like you had a lot of linemen in the area, and it looked to a couple of guys that were running the same passing route. Very lucky for that ball not to be intercepted there by Covenant.
And a misread by me. It was actually Jack Shavy, the sophomore, number 4, slot receiver, top of your screen. So that's Shavy and Moran at the top, Pollard and Eli Meals at the bottom. And this play will be blown dead.
It looked like someone on the defensive line jumped off sides.
First flag of the game goes against the Covenant defense, and it is a big boost for Traders Point. That drive looked like it might be beginning to peter out.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 now becomes a 3rd and 4, and you have your whole playbook in front of you where you can run, get maybe Cooper Simmons Little out on the perimeter so where he has that option to run or throw.
You get outside of Mason Smith's field goal range. For now, look out, floater, and it's grabbed close to a 1st down.
A good comeback route by Philip Moran. He was able to drive the defender down and come back. Simmons Little gets rid of it just in the nick of time. There's good pressure there by Covenant, just as half step late. 1st down for the Knights.
I think what you're seeing, there's been a lot of off-season work that Cooper Simmons Little and the Traders Point receivers put in, and timing in that situation is with how tight that Covenant defense is.
You're exactly right. You put that foot in the ground and come back. It's just a timing play. Here's a nice jet sweep to number 6.
Ryan Kowal, close to 10 minutes to go here in the 1st half, but a penalty on Traders Point. So that'll erase that play. Holding on the play interrupts Kowal. And so Ryan Kowal last week, 2 carries, lost 6 yards on the play. You see our head referee visiting with Wyatt Bowman, the Mike linebacker.
And Jonathan, while the referee makes the call here, We have a score update from one of our Indiana SRN games. Chittard scores early, has a 7-0 lead over Tech.
That'll be a tough game for the Titans tonight.
I think it will. Chittard is always a well-oiled machine. It seems like they just reload every year.
1st and 20. 5 wide for Traders Point. That's Kowal in motion. Don't give it to him this time. Floats it down the sideline. Incomplete for Moran.
A lot of pressure there by Covenant Christian. They send more people than Traders Point can block. And Simmons Little just tried the fade there to Moran down the sideline. The speedster almost had a connection just through his hands, just to outside the reach. Good pressure there, though, again, by Covenant, and good coverage as well on the back end.
That's the 4th time they've gone to Moran. He has now 2 grabs for 13 yards. 2nd and 20. Blitz shown, and then Tyndall backs out. Here's a quick hitter. Pollard right up the middle of the field. Does he have enough speed? Not quite, but a great play for Traders Point.
And when you bring pressure, you're bringing so many people to the line of scrimmage. There's not going to be that many people in the back end of the defense. Pollard was able to catch that, head right up the seam. Shoestring tackle saves a touchdown.
Gain of 34. Colton Pollard shot out of a cannon to begin this game. And you see Eli Meals is all alone to the top of the screen. Scampering over there as a defensive back is Niemeyer. Simmons Little will keep. He will try to elude, and he gets to the 5 before the Warriors swarm him.
John Neighbors did a great job there as the outside, holding his position, reading that run-pass option, was able to stay with Cooper Simmons Little and bring him down.
Just like last week, the Knights on the verge of an opening drive touchdown. Starting the game, not the problem for them. They got halfway through the second quarter before Heritage Christian started to pull away, but doing what they need to on this opening drive. 8:50 to go here in the first. Far side, Kirk, can he get around? He can't. Took the helmet off Carter Bell, but he didn't get too far. Might have lost yards on the play.
And Carter Bell with excellent containment. Didn't let Kirk get outside him, was able to get low and make contact, and his teammates could rally around and gang tackle and bring Kirk down. Now it's a 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal from the 8-yard line, it looks like. 7-8-yard line. We'll say the 8. Simmons Little. Oh, there's room in front. Colton Pollard. Who else? Touchdown, Knights.
Only fitting Pollard got him all the way down there. Went a nice crossing route. Got away from the defender. Little with the little shovel pass. Touchdown, Traders Point.
3rd touchdown pass of the year for Cooper Simmons Little. 2nd touchdown of receiving of the year for Colton Pollard. Let's take another peek at that one, Clark.
Yeah, just was able to avoid the rush. Pollard comes underneath the defense, kind of gets lost within the zone, is able to fight in open space. Little hits him for the nice soft pass, and touchdown, Traders Point.
It's up, and it is through, and it's 7-0 Traders Point over Covenant Christian. The Warriors will try next with 7:55 to go here in the first quarter on Indiana SRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
71 yards on 13 plays, culminating with an 8-yard touchdown pass from Cooper Simmons Little to Colton Pollard, and it's 7-0 Traders Point over Covenant Christian. Elsewhere, Clark.
Yeah, we got an updated score. The Chittard Trojans put another touchdown on the board, and with 8:09 left in the first quarter, Chittard leads the Tech Titans 14-0, Jonathan.
We'll see if Covenant Christian can do likewise, as this will be returnable. And it's looking good. Looking really good. Gavin Tyndall stiff arms one. Tries to cut back. Inside the 15 to the 12.
Jonathan, I said that pregame, one of the best weapons they had. I mean, I was really impressed when you watched the film last week with their kickoff return. And Gavin Tyndall did an awesome job last week of creating field position for the Warriors.
That was 85 from where he took off. 88 in the scorebook.
And gave him the okey doke right there on the 40. Gave him the left leg.
Hit the brakes on Dearman. Whoop!
And there he went.
Well, the only better field position you could have had was if he went 12 more. But number 12, Tony Fladd, will have the ball in the pistol. And we'll have that lineup for you in a second after jumping off sides. Was Calvin Falk. Tony Flatt is your quarterback. John Neighbors, the tailback. Nolan Jones starting halfback. Wide receivers Gavin Tyndall, who doesn't need a breather. He's young. Luke Munoz and Landon Ross, the receivers. Logan Reffitt, Elijah Carlson, Austin Cooper, Cole Thomas, and his brother Will on the offensive line from left to right. Here is Neighbors. There goes Neighbors. And into the end zone. Just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's 7-6.
What a response by Covenant. Obviously, you got great field position with the kickoff return, but a nice, strong run there by Neighbors, is able to elude a tackle and break away for the easy score.
Running right by the left side of that line, Reffitt and Carlson. And John Neighbors has the first touchdown of the season for Covenant Christian. The last time they'd been shut out, Clark, was against Heritage Christian in 2017, almost to the day, 1,800 days ago. And that streak over. They're back on the scoreboard. It's 7-7, and we'll be back on IndianaSRN.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Well, Covenant Christian, they had an offensive possession for about 6 seconds of game time. Really, 22 if you add it all up. And a 7-7. That kick return by Gavin Tyndall did most of the leg work, and then John Neighbors took it the rest of the way on one play and a touchdown.
Yeah, the end result's what you're looking for, and Gavin Tyndall with a huge return, set up nicely for the rest of the offense, and Neighbors took care of it.
It'll be another touchback. Traders Point is dominating the time of possession battle here in the first quarter. Last drive for Traders Point. Cooper Simmons Little looked pretty good, and Colton Pollard was a major beneficiary. Simmons Little 5 for 9, 74 yards, and Pollard 3 grabs at 61 and a touchdown.
And they ran the ball, Jonathan, just enough to keep him honest. But if you look, there's a lot of guys in the box there for Covenant. They're going to pressure the ball.
In trouble, Simmons Little is ridden down. Elijah Carlson, the senior, one of the players on this team that was a pretty significant contributor back in the state championship 2020 Covenant Christian Warriors. He had 20 tackles that year for Covenant Christian. Gets the first sack of the game and a 10-yard loss on the play.
That was just great execution of power and speed. He was able to split the guard and tackle and head right up the field. Simmons Little really didn't have time to even throw the ball away. So it was a great play there by number 79.
And Patrick Falk checked in, then checked back out after getting yelled at.
He'll fix it.
Second and very long. The end zone to his back. Blitz comes in. He's whirled around. He's in major trouble. And that's going to be ground. It should be a safety.
Yeah, great pressure. Simmons Little in the pocket. Tried to get rid of it. Didn't get past the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a safety.
9-7, the Covenant Christian defense, the Covenant Christian pass rush comes through big for the Warriors. Elijah Carlson gets the first sack on the play, and then Temi Eldelican gets the second one. 6:54 to go here in the first quarter, and it's 9-7, and the front line for Traders Point got just meleeed on that series.
A lot of push by Covenant, bringing a lot of pressure, confusing that offensive line. When you have more people up there that you can block, there's just some confusion on who's going to get who. Usually you go inside out, and that helps the quarterback can kind of step up in the pocket. But great pressure by Covenant, able to get the safety and take that 9-7 lead.
And now Traders Point will have to do the safety kick away to Covenant Christian, which is a tricky disposition because the last one went pretty well, and then Covenant's going to have good field position regardless, barring a turnover here on this kick.
Well, that Gavin Tyndall kickoff after the Traders Point score really provided a spark for Covenant. They've really lit a fire under them, and they're looking to go back down and score again here.
It's played short and went out of bounds, so even better field position coming up for Covenant Christian. I don't know why. Just take it where that is. That's ball to be on the 35. Probably not make them re-kick this.
Yeah, that's excellent field position. Already on the 35-yard line of Traders Point.
Defensively for the Knights, on the defensive line, Nick Bartles, who was outstanding last week, next to Gus Westerfield, who's playing his second game of his career ever in football. At nose guard, Christian Heiser and Calvin Falk are the linemen. The linebacker, Sheldon Hackett, Hawk Johnson back after a year's absence. Their legal procedures declined as we speculated. Justin Kirk is the slam linebacker. Philip Moran and Nick Dearman are the cornerbacks, and the safeties, Ryan Kowal and the excellent Daniel Schoenveld. The senior number 30 is the one with the pink armband. 1st and 10. Flat. A reverse. Here's Ross. Flings it down the field. And it's incomplete, but a flag is down.
Well, nice reverse, little flea flicker, kind of a reverse pass. And Ross with a beautiful throw into the end zone. Couldn't quite come up with it, but they got the pass interference call.
Pass interference on Nick Dearman. So Covenant Christian will get yards on this.
You know, Jonathan, it was interesting. Last week, Covenant Christian started the game with a trick play where they kind of looked over the sideline, looked all confused, and then they snapped the ball. So they like to bring out a bag of tricks here and every once in a while to keep that defense honest.
Head coach Evan Cottle will keep you on your toes. 6:44 left here in the first quarter. So that is Landon Ross, Mr. Antoine Randall at the top of your screen. Tyndall's in the slot on the near side. Munoz beyond him off camera. Neighbors up the middle. Ping pongs off one. Doesn't get much further. Hackett had him wrapped up. And he's down just inside the 20-yard line at about the 18.
Good move by Neighbors just to keep his feet moving, try to be elusive within that hole. Able to fall forward for a couple of yards.
2 carries, 9 yards for Neighbors. 2nd down and 8. Again, last year in this matchup, Neighbors was outstanding. 25 carries for 166 yards, 6.6 yard average, and a touchdown.
And he's a threat to catch the ball as well out of the backfield.
Tyndall in motion. Neighbors swarmed immediately, danced out of it. Inside the 10, Schoenveld tries to take the ball away. Doesn't work. He's down at the 5.
Nice spin move right at the point of attack by Neighbors. Is able to break that first tackle and then break containment, able to drive those legs down and get inside the 10-yard line down to the 5. Sets up another 1st and goal for Traders Point. But that was all Neighbors making a play and just making a guy miss.
5:49 to go, a 13-yard carry for John Neighbors, and about 13 of them after contact. Single isolation top of your screen. Ross, no receptions this year. They'll go to Neighbors. There's the hole. There's a lane. John Neighbors, 2nd touchdown of the game.
Again, just a great individual effort. He's got to the hole, kind of sidestepped that first man in the defense, was able to spin out of a tackle as well and fall across the goal line, give Neighbors his 2nd touchdown on the night.
Take another peek at that one, Clark.
Yeah, and just into pistol formation, a little misdirection, able to sidestep, get to the 2nd level of the defense, and able to twist his body in and fall forward and cross that goal line. John Neighbors, touchdown number 2.
5:22 to go, 15-7. No, it will stay 15-7.
I think they got a hand on that one.
I think you're right. It's still a one-possession game here. 5:22 to go, 1st quarter on IndianaSRN.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
In 3 plays, 35 yards and a $132. John Neighbors found the end zone for the 2nd time today after a 5-yard scamper. 15-7 here. What's the score elsewhere, Clark?
Well, Jonathan, HSE leads North Central 7-0 in the 1st quarter. Chatard puts another one on the board. They lead Tech 20-0, and we got a score: Cecina 7, Speedway 0, and a good matchup there.
And good one here, a completely different team, it appears, from Covenant Christian. And that should be a touchback after, I think that was Eli Meals.
He was trying to get it. He was trying to catch that ball and run it out. His momentum took him to over the goal line for a touchback. So let's see if Traders Point can get back to that rhythm that they had that first drive. They're going to have to somehow find a way to offset this pressure of the defensive line by Covenant. They're really pinning their ears back and going after the quarterback.
Yeah, and on offensive end, Covenant Christian full board ahead. Neighbors now 4 carries, 26 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The last drive, if you can call it that, for Traders Point went straight backwards with 2 sacks, safety being one of them. Time Adulakun, Tamilalua Adulakun. They just call him Timmy.
He applied great pressure and was able to force that throw in the pocket for the safety.
We'll have a timeout on the field by Covenant Christian. We'll be back in a couple moments on IndianaSRN.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
First and 10 for Traders Point. First drive excellent, second one not for the Knights. Just an 8-point game. That's Kowal in motion. They will, oh my goodness, did he get out of it? No! Justin Kirk tried to elude all that pressure, but he could not get away from the big fella, Elijah Carlson, 6'4", 280.
Well, he was able to maneuver past one, and then the second guy missed, but Elijah cleaned it up as he slowed Kirk down for a 1-yard loss. That tackle in the backfield puts Traders Point behind the sticks.
Kirk now 3 carries, -3. Second and 11. Jailbreak right up the middle. This develops well, though. Kirk squeezes out before taking the wrong end of the shoulder of Wyatt Bowman, close to the 30-yard line, down at about the 28.
And that's a great offensive call there by Traders Point. How do you offset pressures? Do some draws and a screen, little screen pass there, get you in 3rd and 3, and you can able to pick this first down up with a nice play here.
3rd and short. .410 to go, first quarter. Kirk ducks under Bowman, got to the 30-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and short. Oh, they gave it to him. So first down for Traders Point.
Yeah, it was a great play by Kirk. He was able to duck under that tackle that was trying to be made by Wyatt Bowman. He was able to fall forward and get to that 30-yard line and first down.
Pulls it back from Kirk, flips it down to Moran, and he has the completion to the 38-yard line. Serenity Home Care. Serenity Care Services is an Indiana licensed professional agency and Medicare waiver service provider in Central Indiana. We are the friendly, competent, experienced team of caregivers you've been seeking. Contact us today at serenitycareservices.net.
Traders Point really likes that little 5-yard slant pass. They've had some success with that.
Can they do it again? Kirk on the roll around, and he's short of the 40, stuck immediately by Carter Bell.
Carter Bell in the zone defense was able just to stay at home, pass the wide receiver off to the safety, and made a nice play on Justin Kirk there in the open field.
3rd and inches. Kirk not going to get there, loses 3 on the play, and all fired up is Covenant Christian's defense and Austin Cooper.
Austin Cooper getting through that offensive line by Traders Point. In the battle in the trenches, the defensive line of Covenant Christian is winning right now.
So you can see the distance. They need to get to the 40. Say 4th down and 2. A long 2. Simmons Little could pooch punt this and will. And this will get a nice roll for Traders Point before trickling to its culmination at the 33-yard line.
Nice answer there by Covenant Christian. Was able to hold the Traders Point Knights after that first down. A nice stand. You had a 3rd and 1. Get a tackle for loss. Not jump off sides there on that 4th down play. Traders Point maybe was trying to bait that in there and get a free 5 yards and a first down. They stayed disciplined, and then Simmons Little had to scoot back and pooch punt it. Now Covenant with the ball.
2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Covenant Christian has scored 15 unanswered points. After giving it that opening touchdown drive, they could add more here in the waning moments of this first quarter. Tony Flatt has not passed much so far today. Throws this one that was almost intercepted by Philip Moran. The intended receiver was Gavin Tyndall.
like the play calling, though, from the offensive scheme. You had a guy in the flat, you had an intermediate route, then you had a deeper route. So you had all three levels there that Flat was looking at. Just overthrew his target. Moran was Johnny on the spot, almost had a pick there, which would have been his second one. He had one in the end zone last week against Speedway.
Tony Flat is 164 yards away for 3,000 for his career. He had an all-everything year last year as a junior. 2,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, mostly to Brock Buckley. He had 12 of those. Nice run here up to the 40-yard line. That was Noah Bryant, the sophomore backup running back. He had 3 yards on one carry last week. And then a player is down. It looked to be Calvin Falk. And we'll take a timeout as we have a timeout on the field here at IndianaSRN. Covenant Christian leads 15-7.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back. 2:20 to go here, first quarter. 3rd down and 5 for Covenant Christian. After the injury break for Traders Point, they had a few players helped off the field last week, all playing. Tyndall in motion, bobbled, Flat stays with it, Flat's under duress, Flat is still under duress, he flings it incomplete.
That might be one of the greatest incompletions you might see all year. You had a guy draping on Flat's jersey, and he was able to get out of the pocket, get that pass past the line of scrimmage, so there was no penalty called and lived to fight it for another day. But able to elude that sack.
Yeah, the ferocious and small Christian Heiser, all 5'8", 150 of them, described by his head coach as a honey badger, just a ferocious little thing.
He stayed
at him. He hung with him.
He wasn't letting go.
And Flat's 6 foot 185, former linebacker. Is he going to stick with this play? He will, and he has it to Gavin Tyndall across the 40. Every time Tyndall touches the ball, it's a big play. First completion of the game for Covenant Christian, and the ball is deep into Traders Point territory.
Nice play action pass, had the defense moving one way, able to roll out to his right. Had Gavin Tyndall for a big-time first down. Jonathan, one thing I'm noticing, how Covenant has cleaned up their offensive snaps. Last week they had a lot of missed snaps, a lot of balls that were getting on the ground. It's a much cleaner exchange, which helps the timing of the offense.
Off a gain of 24 with under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Flat has trouble with the snap again. It's squibbled around, diving on it to just neuter this play as Tyndall. So it'll be a loss on the play by Covenant Christian. That was something that Evan Caudle talked about, was bad snaps last week.
That was the announcer jinx, wasn't it? That's exactly. We said they were clean, and one rolled back there. But that's the first one that's happened. It happened several times last week. They've done a much better job of cleaning that up, and that's led to a successful offensive attack tonight.
Loss of 9 on the play. That'll really hurt Tyndall's rushing totals. Oh, and a little flinch on that line. Are they going to get Camden Noblet?
Well, they got 5 yards back there.
2nd and 14. 1:20 to go, first quarter.
Got another score update here. Jonathan, Lawrence North leads Whiteland after first quarter 7-0.
Tony Flatt. Dangerous throw picked off by Nick Dearman.
Dearman just sitting in that zone was able to read the quarterback's eyes. Everybody was sitting on that intermediate route. He went down low, picked it up right off the turf. Good job of keeping his hands under the ball, and the first turnover of the game.
Sam Carnes calls Nick the best corner on the Knights roster, and you saw just how he played that ball. Tony Flatt, that is just the 9th interception of his career, and it gives Traders Point life with 1:03 to go here in the first quarter. Can Traders Point seize the momentum? You better roll! He dropped it! He turned his head. It was Colton Pollard way down the field. The ball maybe slightly behind him. That close.
That close, and he was all alone. Well, how about the arm strength of Cooper Simmons Little, rolling out to his right, throwing that on the run, some 40, 50 yards. It was a little underthrown, but I know Pollard would like to have that one back.
He had his mind set on a second touchdown of this game and left the ball behind him, 2nd and 10. Sam Carnes, and I think everybody has a false start's going to be called here. I think everybody knows Traders Point, they've got the ability to hit you with the home run pretty quick. And when it's off, that's on Covenant Christian, encroachment. So it'll be 2nd and 5.
Free 5 yards, and you're starting to see Traders Point adjusting to the defensive pressure from the line of Covenant's line. They're able to roll Cooper Simmons Little out. You saw a screen pass last series, trying to do a few things just to negate that pressure and use that to their advantage.
2nd and 5. Simmons Little almost throws that one incomplete, and here's the flag. Philip Moran was looking for a penalty, and it comes.
It was that slant pass. The defensive line really did a nice job. They got their arms up, but the DB really didn't have to put his hands on him, but there was a grab, and as the ball was there, the official called pass interference.
Yeah, there it is. It'll be a first down for Traders Point, and 2 penalties by Covenant Christian has given Traders Point 15 yards on this drive. Inside 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10. Oh, that one is floated behind Justin Kirk. And there have been a couple throws in this drive, Clark, where Cooper Simmons Little is backpedaling, didn't have enough on either of them.
Yeah, that you described that so accurately, Jonathan. That was just a backpedaling, didn't have a whole lot of zip on that. Luke Munoz was able to come underneath it and almost made a diving interception. It was a great athletic play for him to break up that pass and able to read that from his defensive back position.
And you can just feel something is bubbling here in Whitestown. Some big play somewhere. Everyone's waiting for it. Packed field. Great attendance tonight. Throw over the middle, and that's broken up again. Colton Pollard, the intended receiver, but Jeremiah Dowdle was not having anything about it.
Able to get his right hand in there and knock that ball loose. Traders Point still liking to run those slants. You might see a fake slant and go here before too long as they set the defense up.
39 seconds to go first quarter. A lengthy first quarter. About 45-minute long first quarter. Simmons Little jailbreak here, and it's dropped. And the fingers, the gloves, not as sticky this drive, as a few big plays have been left on the turf by the Knights. And 4th and 10 from the 48.
And Justin Kirk, that screen was set up beautifully. The offensive line had kicked the defensive ends out wide. They had catch the ball. You had the middle of the field with blockers in front of you. Sure to at least pick up a first down in that scenario. Was unable to complete that play, though.
35 seconds to go. Again, we have seen Cooper Simmons Little do some pooch punting. He's throwing this time and has Eli Meals. Touchdown!
slant pattern right over the middle of the field, down the seam. Mills catches it, turns on the afterburners. No one's able to catch him. And Traders Point is 2 points away from tying this game.
48 yards. And another peak.
Yeah, he just runs down the middle of the field, gets behind the defense, gets behind the linebackers. A great job of the offensive line to protect. Covenant chose to play more of possession and play more of the routes instead of apply pressure. Little had time and drills it in there for a touchdown.
Traders Point in this first quarter have outgained Covenant Christian 281-48, and a lot of that has been short field position for the Warriors. 28 seconds to go, 2 points to tie, and we'll try it again after this whistle. Eli Meals, a senior, first career touchdown on his first grab of this game. He had 3 catches for 68 yards. And it'll be a shorter 2-point conversion attempt after Covenant Christian was offsides.
And that just gives them a little more options in their playbook to run or pass. I like the fact that they get Cooper Simmons out on the perimeter, whether he hands it off to Kirk or whether he looks to find one of these receivers that have been so special for him tonight or run it in himself. He's got plenty of options there. Let's see if Covenant decides to play coverage or go after him with a little more pressure.
So about a 1.5 yard away from tying this game. Kirk, not quite. Got back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more. So it's a 2-point lead for Covenant Christian after a 48-yard bomb from Traders Point on IndianaSRN. Longest first quarter ever, but it's been worth every penny. 1 minute, 2 seconds to go. 5 plays, 68 yards, and a 48-yard touchdown from Cooper Simmons Little to Eli Meals. Second touchdown pass of the game for Cooper Simmons Little, who is nearing a school record. The previous record, 2,701 yards by David Hart a few years ago. And Cooper Simmons Little is 24 yards away from that. It will keep that tally going. Next drive for Traders Point. But this little pooch kick tried to onside that a little bit. Wyatt Bowman was all over it. Wyatt Bowman, one of the type of players you just want to root for, as Coach described him. He had to grind his way to get a starting role here at Covenant Christian. Backup lineman at times, but he's a starting middle linebacker, the main communicator for that defense. And you saw him return that kick, and now Tony Flatt and the Warriors have about 20 seconds to go here in the first and a 2-point lead.
Not a bad choice for a little squig kick there by Traders Point with the success that Covenant has had on those kick returns. So Covenant actually starting on their side of the 50 for this possession.
And Tony Flatt, last time he had the ball, threw an interception. This time he's looking. He heaves it. It's waddling, and it's incomplete.
Dangerous pass there by Flatt. Threw it into coverage, and ball hung in the air a little bit. Was fortunate to hit the ground for Covenant. Nice job of defensive pressure by the Knights of Traders Point.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Long walk. Luke Munoz, the intended receiver there. 16 seconds to go here in the first. It'll be handed off to Bryant, trying that right side, and nice tackle by the sure tackling Daniel Schoenveld. Schoenveld has 178 tackles now for his career, maybe a little bit more than that, closer to 180. But I think everyone's heading for the sidelines, and the first quarter comes to a close 52 minutes after we started it. And what a quarter it was, 15-13. Covenant Christian leads Traders Point on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We're in the second quarter, everybody.
We made it.
We've crossed the threshold. Tony Flatt, rough start to this game. 1 for 5 for 24 yards and 1 pick. In a couple of his throws, he's kind of just sailed him up there. And he's another one that we're watching his numbers. He is now 140 yards away from the 3,000 mark for his career. But right now, even though Covenant Christian leads, they lead by virtue of a safety they got on Traders Point's second drive. And it does feel, Clark, a little bit like Traders Point has the momentum in this matchup at this moment.
And it has shifted. We thought after Traders Point scored on that opening drive, the response to that kickoff really gave a spark to Covenant Christian. They were able to score and put 15 unanswered on the board. But Traders Point responds at the end of the quarter with a touchdown of their own.
3rd down and 8. Blitz shown, and they come. Picked up well. Flag down. It hit Flatt. Flatt's running. Flatt's to the 45. Flatt's out at the 40. And we'll see what the penalties for. We'll negate all of it.
Holding penalty called there against Covenant, trying to keep their quarterback safe. Flatt, I really liked his poise there in the pocket. Didn't see anything open that he wanted to throw to. Was able to scramble.
Be 3rd down and a lot coming up. And the home team, Traders Point, in great position here. Now, this is neither here nor there, but those uniforms for Traders Point, their JV team has a gray version of that. And the reason they have gray, like they're the best JV uniforms you've ever seen in your life. And they picked gray because they could wear it home and away and they could get a nicer single jersey.
And I like those. I like the style of their helmets too. I like the two-tone color there of the helmets. It looks sharp.
Here's Flatt in trouble. That time Heiser got him and Hawk Johnson cleaned it up.
Good defensive pressure. Obviously, they knew that Covenant was in a passing situation. Heiser was able to wrap him up and keep on him until he got some friends there with him. And 3rd and 18 now, or 4th down rather, and 18. Nice defensive stand the last 2 possessions by Traders Point. Nice adjustments that they've made.
Last week, Traders Point gave up 578 yards to Heritage Christian. They gave up 55 points to Heritage Christian. And I think if you're Sam Carnes and crew, what you just saw, that's a big confidence boost after what happened last week. And this one by Munoz is a wobbler that is going to check up at the 45-yard line, and that is where Cooper Simmons-Little is 24 yards away from setting the new passing record at Traders Point Christian. 10:46 to go here, second quarter. David Hart Was one of the best quarterbacks in school history in the short history for both of these two teams. But he set up the mark, 2,701. Simmons Little, as he entered this season, it was really just a matter of time if he stayed healthy. And the work he put in this offseason, 24 yards away. 1st and 10, down 2. Pulled back from Shavy. Floats it. Caught by Moran across the 50-yard line.
Nice catch by Moran. Was able to use that vertical ability to leap up, come down, and still fall forward to get an extra couple of yards. Be 2nd down and 4. Little 6-yard pass on the little out. Good protection also by Traders Point.
Sam Carnes, when asked about it, he said if Cooper Simmons Little knew about this record, the answer was nope, no, he doesn't have the faintest idea about it. Over the middle, has a wide open Eli Meals. A new record for Traders Point and more points on the board. Touchdown Knights.
Well, there had to be a breakdown in coverage. Mills was all alone in the middle of the field. There wasn't a Warrior 20 yards near him, but there is a flag.
A flag down. An eligible receiver downfield erases all of it.
Wow, that's unfortunate because that was a great play by Traders Point. Good vision by Simmons Little to see him down wide open in the middle. Mills was able to catch it, but all for naught as they have a penalty. Jonathan got a few more scores for us here at the end of one. Lawrence North is tied with Whiteland 7-7. Chittard leads Tech 27-0. Hamilton Southeastern 17, North Central 0 in the second, and Carmel ahead of Center Grove 10-7.
Yeah, one of the games of the night. We'll keep our eye on that. Here's Cooper Simmons Little underneath route, and making something out of nothing was Justin Kirk, who got it up to the 50-yard line. Nice little play on it.
Yeah, a lot of different variations of a screen. They've done a middle screen. That was just a screen left, again, to negate that defensive pressure from the front line there of Covenant, but that's kind of slowed down here recently.
It has. 3rd down and 4. Here's Shavy in motion again.
Like that fake snap so they can see what the defense will react before then they make the call.
Flips it. Nice spin and a nice stick on the play by Carter Bell. And it's going to be short. 4th down and short. 4th down about 2.
Yeah,
maybe 3.
Carter Bell with an excellent stop there to negate Kirk from getting the 1st down. 4th and 3.
Got to get it to the 45. 8:50 to go here in the first half. Last time, 4th down that Traders Point went for it. Ended up going for a big touchdown, 48 yards, Eli Meals. He just had a touchdown taken off the board. Simmons Little stands in there. He's in trouble, and he's getting sacked. And the Covenant Christian defense arrives.
Just in time. What a big play. Simmons Little, you saw him pump fake. I think he wanted to go but didn't want to force the ball. Knew he was in the pocket. Ended up just eating that and taking the sack rather than forcing it, maybe getting a turnover.
I'll tell you what, Temi Adelican, with 8:30 to go here in this first half, whenever he just makes plays. He had that safety. He gets another turnover on the sack. Gavin Tyndall was in on that. Austin Cooper.
Making plays at big moments, too. That was a big critical moment. And how big was that now penalty that Traders Point have with that illegal man down the field? Wiped up the touchdown off the board. Now Covenant has the ball on the plus side of the field position.
And a great chance for the Warriors to swing the momentum towards them. That's Tyndall on the near side slot in the lime green. Munoz is closer to the camera. Tony Flatt with pressure in his face is picked off by Ryan Kowal. And he gets it to the 39-yard line. Second pick of the game by Covenant Christian.
He just undercut that route. Flat thought he had him in the zone. It was a good read there by Traders Point, able to pick it off. The second turnover for them in the secondary.
A little over 8:20 to go here in the second quarter. And now those numbers checked after Flat throws his second pick of the game. 11 is the deficit to the school record. And it's 1st and 10. And Traders Point showing no signs of slowing down this pace. Blitz in his face and throws an interception! Coming the other way and down. That was Carter Bell. He's got to stretch out the hammy.
Yeah, Carter Bell was just right in the right spot. I think there was some miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver, and Carter Bell was right there to pick it off.
We'll take a little breather. Back-to-back turnovers here in IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Bell is able to walk off. Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe, a great atmosphere for breakfast or brunch. Open Wednesday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tammy and her staff they're waiting to serve you and your family. Try the biscuits and gravy or quiche. Coach, he recommends the BLT. Tam's, located at 6427 O'Glandon Road in Indy. It'll be 1st and 10 for Covenant Christian. New life here. After the Warrior offense has a hard time getting anything going through the air, and they haven't scored in some time. But another chance here as Neighbors is in motion and jumping off sides was Daniel Reffett. It'll be 1st and 5 upcoming.
See if Covenant can get Flat going. He's had a subpar by his standards in game one with only 125 yards passing. Like to see him get some into some rhythm here, maybe a short, quick pass. Get him some confidence going.
Neighbors in motion again. Low snap. Flat. Heiser chasing him. Hits the brakes and throws a completion to Ross. And it's going to go for a touchdown.
Great awareness by Flat. He was able to control the snap, able to elude some defenders flying at him, and able to get Ross for the touchdown.
23 yards. First catch of the year for Landon Ross, a junior. This extra point would make it a 2-score game. Flat will hold the ball for Luke Munoz. 8:04 to go here in the second quarter. Kick is up. Kick is good, and it is 22-13 on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
One play, 23 yards, 9 seconds, looked like this.
Yeah, he just had a snap. Flat was able to control it, elude some pressure. A nice comeback there by Ross, recognizing that Flat was in some trouble. Was able to catch it and scamper down the end zone for a touchdown down the sideline. Put Covenant Christian back up. Now 2 scores with the successful extra point, which was big.
That is big. 22-13. Back and forth game. Some miscues, some excellence, a lot of crucial penalties. And here's an onside kick. It almost recovered. Maybe still alive. Covenant Christian got it.
What a great play by Covenant Christian. The guys around the kicker acted like blockers. They were able to kick it far enough past that 10-yard line, that 10-yard zone, and they were able to recover the onside kick, maintain possession, first down.
Wyatt Bowman, we talked about him. The hard-fought kid to get his spot, and he gets it back. And let's take another peek.
Hey, you just see those 2 guys right in front. Their whole goal is to block those 2 Traders Point guys, players up front, so they can allow the kicker to come back in and grab that ball.
And Bowman on the bottom of that pile. 1st and 10 for Traders Point, and now they can really pile it on here. Keep that momentum going. Flat from the pistol, 1st and 10. Handoff, nice run developing for Bryant as he gets it close to the 40-yard line, got it to up to the 41.
And Bryant able to, Traders Point bringing pressure there. Bryant able to escape the first wave before he met that linebacker crew. 4-yard gain.
7:45 to go here, second quarter. 12 yards on 3 carries for the sophomore Noah Bryant.
And Bryant able to provide some depth for Covenant Christian. Kind of gives John Neighbors a break there from running the ball. He's a 2-way player, also doing his linebacker duties.
Yeah, Evan Cottle says he doesn't like to come off the field, but Bryant got smoked on that when he got back to the line of scrimmage. Hawk Johnson came barreling through. So it'll be 3rd down and reasonable.
You know, Jonathan, neither team really able to establish a lot of the running game tonight. You still need to keep working at it just so you keep the defense honest, and allows you to have that play-action pass and open up the back end for the passing game.
Loss of 1 on the play for Bryant. Neighbor is back in at tailback.
I guess it's a big play for Covenant. You gambled and were able to recover that onside kick. You want to keep that momentum going.
Blitz shown. Blitz has come and picked up well. Flat airs it out, and it is caught by Luke Munoz on the right side of the 30.
And Munoz had 2 receptions last week for 69 yards, made a nice play to be able to go down and grab that ball. And how about Flat, putting it to where only his receiver can catch it, keeping everyone safe and also getting that all-important first down.
First reception of the game for Luke Munoz, the junior. He now has a gain of 9 on the play. 6:20 to go here, second quarter. Hackett shows a blitz. That's picked up. Hand up the middle. Neighbors got to the 30. Telemetry Sports, for more than 6 years, Telemetry Sports has been working with the NFL and multiple college football teams as a data and technology provider. Player speeds and acceleration that they are providing us is generated using computer vision, the same technology as autonomous vehicles. As you watch these players, keep in mind that over 18 miles an hour is very fast and impressive for high school and college athletes. You can see that on all the social media aspects. Really cool, those highlights.
Jonathan, I'm glad they didn't have it when I played high school basketball. They probably wouldn't have measured that low.
Neighbors, 5 carries, 28 yards. Here's second down. Picked off again! Ryan Kowal, his second of the game. And that brings a hard stop to a promising drive. Third touchdown thrown of the first half by Tony Flatt.
Yeah, Kowal with his second interception. Again, just kind of reading the quarterback's eyes.
Oh, it's take away the interception. That's the second time we've had a really exciting play that would have benefited Traders Point get taken back off camera.
Yeah, negated by a penalty there. The first one was a legal man downfield. That one was a roughing the passer call.
5:23 to go in the quarter.
Yeah, so Covenant Christian gets to maintain this possession and ultimately put them close to the red zone here, I think. Flat able to hang in there under the pressure of Traders Point. But good job there, again, by Kowal of reading the eyes. That would have been his second interception on the night. Bounces all the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for Covenant. And looks like John Neighbors back in the backfield.
So take the interception off the board. Flat now 3 for 8. He has thrown 2 interceptions. He has thrown a touchdown. And his Warriors are on the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Flat flips it out to Neighbors. Neighbors eludes one and then is taken down at the 7-yard line on a nice little pitch and catch from Flat to Neighbors.
Yeah, just taking what the defense gave him. Flat out, throws it out to Neighbors in the flat. Neighbors able to pick up close to 8 yards there and put them in a nice situation where they have the option to run or pass.
64 yards through the air for Covenant Christian in this game. 2nd down and 2 for the Warriors. Looking to extend their 9-point lead. Here's Neighbors. And Neighbors got back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
And the one positive for the Warriors right now is that they can pick up that 1st down without getting in the end zone.
3rd and 2. You'd think 4-down territory for it at this level with this distance.
And as explosive as Traders Point has been on offense and through the air, I don't think no lead is safe tonight.
No, and as good a runner as Flat can be, we'll see another penalties coming in. And it's off of Traders Point. One of the night linebackers thought he'd suckered in a Covenant Christian Warrior, but the Zebras disagreed, and it's going to be 1st and goal. 80 penalty yards against Traders Point on 9 penalties today. Covenant Christian, 36 yards on 5.
Tough to give up those free yards.
Ball on the 3. Neighbors. He's scored twice today. He's going to lose yardage. Lost a yard on that play. That was snuffed out well by Traders Point.
Well, you got to give credit to the defensive Traders Point there, getting containment, not allowing Neighbors to get outside. That's exactly how he scored the first touchdown way back an hour and a half ago in the first quarter, where he broke containment and was able to get to the pylon. There, Traders Point was able to force him back inside where everybody else was in pursuit and bring him for a loss.
It almost literally was an hour and a half. It's like hour 15. Flat will keep it. Flat will roll. Flat's a danger to run. Flat scores a touchdown. Tony Flat on the ground, and Covenant Christian extends their lead.
I think that was a good decision by Flat. He had an open receiver, Carter Bell, it looked like, or Gavin Tyndall, one of the two right in the back of the end zone. He could have thrown it, but the easy play was for him just to scamper in the end zone as he broke containment. Touchdown, Covenant.
3 minutes, 29 seconds to go here in the first half. Traders Point has the opportunity to respond, but Covenant Christian will get the ball back to begin the second half, so a critical drive upcoming for Traders Point. This kick is up, and it is through. And with a beautiful sunset in the distance, Covenant Christian extends their lead. They're up 16 on Traders Point on IndianaSRN.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back, everybody. 5-yard touchdown after an 8-play, 40-yard drive. Looked like this.
And Tony Flatt, nice little play action, keeps it on his hip, rolling out to the right. Again, had Gavin Tyndall in the back of the end zone, but thought the safer play, he's still going to get a touchdown, just runs it in and tack on another 6, plus the extra point, another 7. And Covenant extends that lead to 29-13. Let's see if they respond with another onside kick. You know, you wouldn't expect 2 in a row.
That'd be a surprise. That would be the surprise-iest surprise.
That would be.
3 minutes, 29 seconds to go, second quarter, and Traders Point, they need no surprises. They need a touchdown. You don't want to give Covenant Christian the chance to go up 3 scores. 2's tough, 3 daunting. And it's returnable for the dangerous Philip Moran. And Philip is corralled across the 20 down at the 24.
Good pursuit by Covenant Christian, staying in their lanes. Moran goes across the 20, as you said, to the 24. They got 1st and 10. Traders Point, really important to get some points here on the board before halftime because, as you said, Covenant gets the ball coming out starting the second half.
Speaking of halftime, down in Johnson County, we had a tie in that game.
Yeah, 10-10 at half there with Center Grove and Carmel. A few other scores at half, as well as Whiteland and Lawrence North leads Lawrence North 14-7. Cecina 7-0 over Speedway. Chittard 41-0 over Tech.
Beginning this drive, Traders Point has outgained Covenant Christian 297-96. Covenant Christian has made the most out of short field position. This one looking deep. Moran got him across midfield. And that one is the new passing record for Traders Point. David Hart now second place all time. And the reliable combo of Philip Moran and Cooper Simmons Little on a 48-yard bomb, 40-yard, sets the new passing record for Traders Point. And here is what a record looks like.
Yeah, it's just a go route. Moran beats the defensive back right off the line of scrimmage, makes a nice athletic catch over the shoulder. And what can you say? That's been the bread and butter for Traders Point tonight, just through the air.
1st and 10, and the Knights are rolling here late in the first half. Simmons Little keeps his eyes downfield, gets a few before going out of bounds. Oh, and a late hit flag coming in. A little excessive by the frustrated Isaac Niemeyer, who was the player that was burned by Philip Moran on that 40-yard completion.
Yeah, Simmons Little wasn't, he's not afraid of contact. He likes to get out and get a hit in himself there, and wanted to stay in bounds and drew the penalty.
This will be after the play.
Personal foul, you're going to tack on another 15 yards.
Yeah, almost half the distance. So ball be on the 18-yard line. 2:46 to go. Cooper Simmons Little, 13 of 22 for 191 yards. Couple touchdowns, 1 pick. A first half that is the complete game for many quarterbacks around the state. Looking downfield, throws towards the end zone, and airmailed it over Moran.
I'm very impressed with Cooper Simmons Little as far as where he's throwing the ball. He's throwing him to where he's trying to throw his guys open, right, as a receiver and leading them away from the defense. Moran that time was the only one that could be able to catch that ball. It was high and away. Moran tried. What an athletic attempt there. He was able to got a foot down, would have been a touchdown.
Moran has been targeted 8 times, 5 catches for 66 yards. And if he had the hamstrings of a jackrabbit, he would have had a touchdown there. Flag comes in as Kirk is brought down, and it's probably another penalty on Covenant Christians.
And indeed it is.
Holding on Traders Point. So this penalty battle, penalties have been a huge problem for the Knights. They're almost at 100 yards now in penalties, and we've played one half of football.
Negates that personal foul. 15 yards really takes that ball back out of the red zone.
The ball on the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 20. 2nd and 15. 2nd and long, no matter. Oh, boy.
Well, you can kind of get away with that. There's a running back. You can jump and then maybe just try to figure it out and go in motion. But when you have 2 or 3 offensive linemen doing it at the same time, it's makes the center look bad.
It does. It does. In the NFL, sometimes they'll say that where it's false start on everybody but the center. But that means the center is the one who did it. Like, oh, whoops, my bad. All right, 2nd and 25. Almost back at midfield now. Simmons Little sends it. Long for Moran. So 3rd down and long with 2:06 to go.
And Covenant changing up their defense there. Went back with the pressure and one-on-one isolation on the wide receivers with their defensive backs. Challenging Moran at that case to get a contested pass.
And how critical, Clark, is this play coming up? Where you're looking at this situation, you were knocking on the door of a touchdown. You're down 16, which is still 2 scores. But it's 3rd and long. You need to keep this drive alive. Here's the screen. Executed well this time. Kirk gets some of it back, but not nearly enough. So it'll be 4th down at the 32-yard line.
But at least you're in a manageable situation where you got maybe half of that back or so. Covenant taking a timeout. They think maybe they can Traders Point might punt it to them. It's kind of in that no man's land, so we'll see what happens.
1:54 to go here in the first half, and we'll keep this one here. 29-13. Big decision here for Sam Carnes and crew. Sam is the more defensive player. His older brother is the offensive coordinator. He spent a long time at Westfield running the offense for the Shamrocks. And what can he author for the Knights here? The Traders Point has not been shy going for it on 4th down in this game. They got a touchdown on a 4th down and long. This is 4th down and 23.
Well, they've had a lot of explosive chunk plays through the air over 20 yards or more. A lot of those plays that they've executed, they've really favored the slant route where the receivers are going down and into the middle. And so they're going to spread out here, Covenant Christian, see if they can get a matchup that they like.
Yeah, the Warriors drop all their safeties very far back. Blitz coming in. Simmons Little has to get away in a hurry, and it's knocked away at the last second by Gavin Tyndall. An excellent play by the Warriors.
It was an excellent play by Tyndall. You're exactly right. Simmons Little able to throw that over the middle. Had his man. It would have been a 1st down. Tyndall able to undercut the route, knock it loose. And Covenant now with the ball with a chance to possibly score and then get the ball back in front after the halftime break.
1 minute, 48 seconds to go here, and Covenant Christian can almost put this one to rest. At this point, you got to score here, anything. Get the ball back, and this game goes from very close and challenging to something a lot different. If Covenant Christian can capitalize on this drive, just over a minute and a half to go. Tony Flatt beginning to find some rhythm as this game's progressed. Tyndall in motion. Flatt will keep. Flatt has a throw option if he wants it. He'll turn and run. And it gets it across the 40-yard line before Schoenveld and crew take him down. And a lot of whistles and another flag. Be
interesting to see what the call is here. I thought it was a good play by Flat to get out to the perimeter, but it looks like a holding on the offense. And pushing back 10 yards is going to change your whole offensive approach and philosophy with this amount of time left before halftime.
6th penalty for 51 yards on Covenant Christian. First down and 10 upcoming, or first down and 20 upcoming after a penalty tacks on 10 more yards.
And neither team has really had much success running the ball. I think Neighbors has at least a touchdown run here of about 10 yards, but nobody's over the 40 or 50-yard mark. So in the air is where the game's been played at tonight.
Oh, and another penalty on Traders Point. Nick Bartles got moving and couldn't rein it back in. So it'll be 1st and 15. 100 yards in penalties in the first half by Traders Point. And some of those have been absolute killers.
Yeah, we talked about earlier, some of those penalties have negated some really positive plays for Traders Point, and then Covenant gives it right back.
All right.
Go back the other way 5 yards. We're back to 1st and 22.
I can't say it better than our PA announcer did.
Give and take. Just a little anxious. Both teams second game, right? The third half of the season. So, but I think the frustrating thing is those are mistakes that they can control.
Here's a heave and a completion to Munoz. Gets it to the 35-yard line. Nice pitch and catch between Flat and Munoz, and that gets back to basically the original line of scrimmage.
And there you'll see Covenant with a little more hurry up, a little more urgency.
60 seconds to go. Covenant, the clock being their friend at this point. Flat on the run, finds Munoz. Another completion, a first down up to the 45-yard line.
Good job of Flat buying some time out of the pocket. He seems a little bit more confident and comfortable now throwing the ball through the air.
And the clock is running here inside a minute. That was Flat checking the time. Turns around, gives it to Neighbors. Neighbors left side is going to get out of bounds close to the 50, and that'll stop the clock.
Nice smart play by Neighbors to get out of bounds. Covenant with only 2 timeouts remaining in the half. So you still got time to get the ball to the middle of the field and then call a timeout or even clock it if you need to.
48-yard line is where Covenant Christian is. 36 seconds to go. So it can be done.
What Flat doesn't want to do is throw an interception here. A turnover at this point would be very detrimental for him.
So Covenant 1 timeout left. Here is Flat. Looks deep downfield, has a man, but overthrew Gavin Tyndall.
Nice job by Flat to step up in the pocket, let the deep ball go. Tyndall got behind the defense, just had a little bit of too much of a sharp angle. Was a little bit too flat on that route. Ball was thrown over his head.
31 seconds to play. Covenant Christian will get the ball back to begin the second half. So they are working on what they hope to be an insurance touchdown here. It really put Traders Point behind the 8 ball on their senior night. Flat looks to the outside, has a completion, and wisely getting out of bounds down the sideline was Landon Ross.
And Landon Ross with a nice night tonight, got ready with a touchdown through the air. There he had a nice little stop route. 12 yards down the field and had the smart play of getting out of bounds and preserving that final timeout.
2 catches for 23 yards for Landon Ross. 25 seconds to go, first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a little breakdown of what we saw this first half, some halftime programming, and then the stats to get you set for the second. Here's a heave over Ross's head.
Ross just settled in the zone between the linebackers and the defensive back. Flat tried to throw a nice touch pass under it, but again, I like where that pass is to where only the offensive receiver can catch that ball.
16-point lead for Covenant Christian. Crucial possession for Covenant Christian to add to their lead. Critical for Traders Point to not allow that to happen. 20 seconds to go. Flat. Heiser in pursuit. Flat heaves it down the sideline, and it's incomplete to Ross.
Good pressure by Heiser. I was watching him there at the bottom of the screen. Boy, he was able just to fight off that block and pursue flush flat out of the pocket. It's hard for a right-handed quarterback to go throw on the run as they're running left and running for their lives. It's a good job of Heiser.
16 seconds to go. Middle of the field still up for grabs. 3rd down and long.
With 16 seconds, you got to use that. Put it in the middle of the field. Be able to use that timeout, and that way you have one more play where, depending on where you're at, you can kick it or throw it in the end zone.
Corners playing off for the Knights. Flat. Pressure right in his face. Steps up, takes a big hit, heaves it down the sideline. Incomplete. A little deflection there by Justin Kirk and coverage. Little 6 seconds to go. And Flat took a big shot at the end of the play, and there's a injury pause here as Tony Flat's being attended to.
Yeah, he took a clean shot, but as he's moving forward in the pocket, he got his shoulder really got him good.
So you got a glimpse of him. The training staff taking a peek at Tony. This will let us check in on some other of those halftime scores again, Clark.
We'll certainly get it. It's halftime again. Chittard leads 41-0. HSE over North Central 24-0 at half. Cecina 7-0 over Speedway at the half. And our friends in Evansville give us a score with Jarrett Lewis down there doing the game. 0-0 at the end of the one between Evansville North and Evansville Memorial.
So Tony Flat helped off the field, walking off. 6 seconds to go. You see him right there, number 5. That is Tony Cruz, whom Evan Cottle and crew are very excited about. He threw a 50-yard touchdown pass last week to Daniel Shin. So he can heave it. He was described as a great arm, and he could flip the hips, which is what you got to do if you're rolling out. So we'll see if they'll let Tony Cruz here have a chance at it. He's hit, and he's going down at midfield. And there still might be a second left. Nope, we're done. There's no time left. Covenant Christian goes into half, 29-13 leaders. Clark Chafin, what a reaction to that first half. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. You had a strong start by Traders Point. Covenant responds with a long kickoff and a touchdown and then a safety. And then just kind of back and forth, but Covenant taking control late in the second quarter to have a nice 16-point advantage going into halftime.
Covenant Christian will get the ball back to begin the second half. And it's just interesting where it felt like Traders Point had the big plays, but Covenant Christian was just steady. Wasn't always executing, a few misfires, but they got there.
Yeah, and I think penalties also play a big part in the game so far. But Covenant Christian offensively getting the job done, whether it's with field position and just got to, I think from a defensive standpoint, control those explosive plays and cut down on their turnovers. Offensively for Traders Point, that line, if they can give Cooper Simmons some time, he could really show what he's capable of through the air.
We'll have stats for you in a little bit, but we'll take a breather for now. Don't go anywhere. Our halftime program's coming up. Covenant Christian leads on IndianaSRN.
Football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
I'm at a Super Bowl and I walk in that stadium at kickoff time and I see that football sitting down there on that field, I get goosebumps because I sewed that football. I am Jane Helser, recently retired. I started working at Wilson on April 13th, 1966. I was 19 years old. I put an application at Wilson. I got the job, never thinking that I'd be there for 48 years. I enjoyed what I did, so I just stayed.
The Wilson Football Factory here, it's actually like a secret. I was raised about 20 miles from here and never even knew this place was here. We make NFL footballs year-round. We manufactured the ball for every Super Bowl, and every point scored in the NFL since 1941 has been scored with a Wilson football. Jane was the longest tenured employee when she retired.
I would get up at about 3:30 in the morning to be on the job at 5 a.m. I had to oil up my machine every day. I could sew about 150 footballs a day. A football is made from a big piece of leather. It's cut out like a cookie cutter, and that panel is split down to a certain size. They're stamped with a logo, and then there's a lining that's put on it to hold the shape of the ball. When I get the football, it's in 4 panels. There's the top 2 panels. Those 2 are sewed together, leaving the opening. Then I sew the bottom 2 panels together. After the lace holes are punched and the seam are pounded down, then I sew the full section together. The rule of thumb is you don't make a good football sewer until you run a needle through your finger. One time the needle just slid up underneath the foot, stuck in my finger. They put an ice pack on it, took me to the doctor, he cut it out, and I went back to work the rest of the afternoon. I'm tough. The turner gets the nice job of turning it right side out. Then it goes to the lacer, he or she, puts a bladder in it and then laces it. After it goes to the lacer, it's molded. Then the ball is ready to be inspected.
Sewing the football together is probably the most important quality as far as manufacturing. The ball has to have perfect seams, the ends have to line up perfectly, and therefore I think sewing is probably the most critical job in manufacturing the ball. We do not want to change the product in its total, because the most important thing is the integrity of football. So our thing's consistency, make a consistent product that feels the same to the player every time they pick it up.
There's a cold swing. I tell people that I've been to 9 Super Bowls, but I've never been to an Ohio State football game. I've been to Miami twice, Tampa twice, Arizona twice, soon to be the 3rd time, New Orleans and Indianapolis. I'm just a worker that got a job when I was 19 years old and stayed there and was able to try to do the best job I could. And I've been rewarded greatly for it.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. He said he loved me. My friends told me it wasn't a big deal. They thought he was so cool, but they didn't know what he wanted me to do.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. You have no idea the kind of pressure I felt to take things to the next level. Things were moving so fast. I was basically the only person in the freshman class who hadn't done it yet. So we did.
I loved him.
I thought she loved me.
My health class had CPR at school. I stayed after class to talk with the instructor about it. They showed me that it didn't have to be that way.
They showed me that I get to make my own choices.
There is another way.
That's the best thing CPR gives you. Another way. A better way.
A healthy way. Sometimes you don't see it because you're in your own world, but they don't make you feel bad. They talk to you like a real person, and they save kids from really unhealthy decisions. They tell the truth, and they know what they're talking about. So yeah, my life was different. I started to choose the better way.
I honestly don't know where I'd be or what I'd be doing had it not been for CPR.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Welcome back to Whitestown, everybody. 29-13. That's our score here. Clark Chafin. What are scores elsewhere?
All right, well, we have a couple of scores here. Jonathan, Perry Meridian with a 28-10 lead over Southport at halftime. Also at halftime, it's Roncalli and Franklin Central. Roncalli scores twice here to start the second half. They lead 10-0 against the Flashes. And we have a 0-0 score in Evansville with Evansville North and Evansville Memorial. We have Chittard 41-0 over Tech at half. North Central and HSE, it's Hamilton Southeastern 24, North Central 0 at half. And Cecina and Speedway are tied at 7 as well, Jonathan.
A couple more just for kicks and giggles. Halftime score, Brownsburg Cathedral, big game around Central Indiana. There are a lot of big games around Central Indiana tonight. Brownsburg leads Cathedral early third quarter 21-14. Zionsville, my alma mater, is slaughtering the Lebanon Tigers by a slim 28 points, 28-0. Early third. Guerin Catholic, we'll have them next week on IndianaSRN as they will play Heritage Christian. They lead Central Catholic up in Lafayette 26-3 in the Battle of the Bishop's Cannon. And we'll be back for more coming up in a little bit here on IndianaSRN.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo!
You see I did?
Yeah!
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back, everybody, to Whitestown, Indiana. Covenant Christian leads Traders Point 29-13. Your first half stats look like this. For Covenant Christian, Tony Flatt was 7 of 16 for 98 yards and a touchdown with 2 picks in the first half. What was interesting in that first half, where there were a lot of penalties that really were killers to Traders Point. One of those brought back what would have been the third Tony Flatt touchdown or interception, and that ended up leading to the first touchdown of the game for Tony Flatt. On the ground, John Neighbors started off strong, even though he doesn't have a lot of yards. 8 carries for 28. That's 3.5 per carry, but he has 2 touchdowns. A lot of short yardage situations for Covenant Christian in this game. Noah Bryant, his backup, has 4 carries for 12 yards. Flat 2 carries for 3, including a touchdown. Receiving-wise, 3 catches for 33 yards for Luke Munoz. Landon Ross, he's had a productive 2-catch, 33 yards, and a touchdown night. He's been targeted 4 times, though. His last 2 targets were incompletion. Gavin Tyndall, 1 catch for 24 yards. John Neighbors, 1 catch for 8. For Traders Point, Cooper Simmons-Little, on a record-breaking performance, is the new all-time leading passer at Traders Point. He's 14 of 26 in the first half for just under 200 yards, 196 of them, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. On the ground has not been prolific for Traders Point. They've struggled on the ground all year, really. Justin Kirk, their starting running back, has not been able to get going. 6 carries, lost 2 yards. Cooper Simmons-Little, he's had 4 carries, minus 10. A couple big sacks, including a safety, really hindered what he's done on the ground. And then Philip Moran on an end around got 11 yards. That's the most rushing for Traders Point on the game. Receiving-wise has been a different story. Philip Moran has been outstanding. 5 catches for 66 yards. Eli Mills had a 48-yard touchdown. Well, had a 49-yard touchdown, but another penalty called that back. Justin Kirk has had 5 grabs for 21 yards, and Colton Pollard was prolific early. 3 grabs and a touchdown on 66 yards receiving. Penalties have been devastating. 166 total penalties between these two teams. 100 on 12 flags for Traders Point, 66 on 8 for Covenant Christian. And some of those penalties have been a killer. If you look at the total yardage, Traders Point 196 through the air, but lost a yard on the ground. So it's 195 to 125 for Covenant Christian. 98 through the air for the Warriors, 27 on the ground. A lot of those against short yardage situations. Tony Flatt entered the game 164 yards short of 3,000, so he's still working his way to that mark. He's not there yet. But on the ground, a lot of turnovers, 2 for Covenant Christian, and then 1 turnover for Traders Point, but they turned over downs a few times. Special teams plays a huge kickoff return to begin the game for Covenant Christian, 85 yards, really helped swing the momentum for Covenant Christian. But we've had a game of momentum where Traders Point got the first touchdown, Clark Chafin, and then Covenant Christian came roaring back. Traders Point looked like they were threatening, and then Covenant Christian started to pull away, and they'll get the ball back to begin the second half.
It'd be a big sequence and a big series for both teams if Traders Point can come out, make some adjustments, get a 3-and-out, get the ball back. In their passing game has been clicking. If they get time for Cooper Simmons-Little, he's been effective through the air. But if Covenant comes down and scores, you're going to make them even more so one-dimensional, and the defense will even know that. Covenant has to continue to move the ball on offense and on defense, mix up their pass coverage with their pressures, and continue to apply pressure. Traders Point, one of the things that they did that was awesome was create turnovers. They were able to intercept the pass a few times and obviously switch the momentum when they were do that. So adjustments in the second half coming up. we'll see what each coach decides to do. And like we said, it'll be a big series coming out here in the third quarter.
Last year, Cooper Simmons Little was he was over 50% passing 3 times in the course of the season, including postseason last year. And now this is the second game in a row this season where he's been over 50%. He's at 54%. Tony Flatt, we mentioned he had to get 164 yards to get 3,000 for his career. He's 66 yards away from that mark. So something to keep your eye on as this game progresses. What do you see for Traders Point? What do they need to do to erase this deficit and turn this into a win?
Well, I think for Traders Point, they got to continue to execute on offense. Their passing game, they've been getting chunk yardage. So I think they just got to continue to try to continue to establish the run. That's going to keep that defense honest. But Cooper Simmons Little is as advertised through the air. He's making good decisions. Maybe he can help the offensive rushing attack by breaking containment and giving him some run-pass options and being able to get some rushing yards through his legs. I also think, from a defensive standpoint, keep applying pressure on Flat in the Covenant offense. You've been forcing some turnovers. Those turnovers can be advantageous for you and definitely shift momentum into your favor.
And we just saw Tony Flatt throwing. He had to be helped off the field at the end of the first half, but up and launching lasers as we have under a minute to play. Big shout out to our crew tonight. You just heard Clark Chafin. I'm Jonathan Mathis. Statistician Tom St. Amand, Justin Griffiths out at Whitestown manning the camera, and Greg Smith is producing. We've had a good game so far. Pat Cherry Insurance, our staff will provide you over 40 years of trusted expertise and knowledge to help protect your assets. Visit us today so we can put a plan in place for you and your family. Give them a call at 317-894-7000 or email us at pat@cherryinsurance.com. No underscores, just Perry Insurance. Just straight up.
Just straight up Cherry Insurance. They treat you right. It'd be interesting to see if Traders Point comes out with a little onside kick themselves, as Covenant Christian surprised them with an onside kick and recovered and continued to march down the field for a score.
That might have been the play of the game, all things considered. If we were looking at a play of the game, then that one, it really flipped the whole dynamic of this football game.
And it's been a game of big momentum swings from the opening drive of Traders Point to the kickoff return to the interceptions. Covenant Christian with a gutsy call.
Well, there's 24 minutes left in this one. Very returnable for Ross. See what he can do with it. And not much.
Good job of staying in their lanes. Anthony Dunville pushes the Ross out of bounds inside the 20. So as far as from a field position standpoint, you got to chalk that coverage up to Traders Point for the advantage there, starting inside the 20 for the Warriors.
Yeah, this is easily the worst field position of the game for Covenant Christian, it feels like. They've had such great field position, and they've capitalized on it too.
They have capitalized on it. They've put the ball in the end zone when they've got down inside that red zone. They're getting touchdowns, and that's what the coaching staff's looking for.
Tony Flatt, 66 yards away from being the newest 3,000-yard passer in Covenant Christian history. He had a lot of records last year as John Neighbors is swarmed immediately, and that's what Sam Carnes and Traders Point need to see is a great defensive effort to keep them in this game.
Yeah, if they can keep them in the long situations and then maybe apply some pressure on a third down, if they can keep them in second and long and third and long, a loss of 2 on that play, good defensive penetration by the Knights.
The run defenses for both these teams, Clark, have really been strong tonight.
They have, and that speaks volume because then that forces the other team to put the ball in the air to get first downs.
All right, 2nd and 12. Flat over the middle, has a completion to Nolan Jones, his first grab of the season, first grab of his career for the junior at H-back. And it's a first down.
What a good time to get your first grab. 2nd and 12, able to get behind the the second level there of the defense, right behind the linebacker, settled in the middle of the zone, and did a nice job of catching it before he made a move, secured the football, got the first down.
1st and 10. Handoff up the middle, not much doing. Got a yard.
Yeah, Noah Bryant back in there running the ball for the Covenant Christian. A little power play just right up the middle as we got a shaken night.
And that is Nick Bartles. Oh, he's going to take a seat.
Yeah, he was going to walk it off and try to get out of there, but thought better of it.
If, hypothetically speaking, you're interested in participating in high school athletics, you want to be involved, you miss the glory days.
You do. What can you do for that?
You could. Your lack of participating in high school athletics does not have to end with high school graduate. You can still participate by becoming an IHSAA official, even if you have been away from the game for a while, like Clark. You can get back in the game by becoming a licensed official in any of the 20 sports sanctioned by the Indiana High School Athletic Association. You can contact the IHSAA office at ihsaa.org.
Officials are unsung heroes. They really they do a lot of traveling. I know I have a lot of close friends that do some officiating. One of them is up doing the game at Crawfordsville tonight. And they like to go all over the state and officiate, and they do a great job, so we thank them a lot. We got some upcoming scores, new change in the Center Grove Carmel game. The Center Grove Trojans now lead Carmel 17-13 in the third quarter. Still Whiteland.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, still a very exciting game. Whiteland over Lawrence North 14-7 after 3 as well.
Bishop Chatard in a close one with Arsenal Tech. 48-0.
I think
that clock is a running there.
I think that clock's running, and they have a running game as their offense, so that's probably a short game to be at.
Nice. Yeah, Zionsville got a blocked punt return against Lebanon. It's 28-0. We'll take a little breather here, and we'll come back with more on IndianaSRN. Welcome back, folks. Nick Bartles was helped off the field, mostly under his own power. It's 2nd down and 9.
Jonathan Covenant really trying to dedicate this first drive to running the ball. They've been really trying to force feed Neighbors or Bryant with the ball there when they run.
They'll throw on this drive, and it's a little bit of a squibber.
A little pressure at the feet of Flat, wasn't able to step into it, skipped to the intended receiver. Brings up a long 3rd down for Traders Point. Let's see if they can get a stop here and bring some energy back.
It'd be a huge play for this Knight defense if they're able to do just that. Flat now 8 for 18, $109. 3rd and 9. Noah Bryant at tailback. Gavin Tyndall with those frog-colored gloves and shoes at the bottom of your screen. Blitz shown, blitz comes, blitz picked up. Flat trying to get away, keeps his eyes downfield, big heave to nobody.
Just over the intended receiver, Landon Ross, as he was running behind the defense. But again, pressure by Traders Point on a critical third down forces a putting situation. Just what they wanted after halftime to get it wasn't necessarily a 3-and-out, but you only give up 1 first down and you're going to get the ball back. Not a lot of time gone, and your explosive offense getting ready to take the field.
That is the third straight target that's gone incomplete to Landon Ross. He was first 2 balls his way. He was able to grab. Then the last 3, not so much. This punt is trailing, and it'll be a really good one, all things considered. And that's where Traders Point will take over, just across the 30-yard line, about the 32.
And Simmons Little looking to pick up where he left off, almost having 200 yards. And last week, almost throwing for 371. He's off to a great start for this season.
That he is. And now Traders Point, big chance here. And it feels like there's still 22 minutes left in this game, but if you're looking realistically, you're down 2 scores. You need to come up with something good on this possession. Can they? Simmons Little will be able to run. Gets it close to the 40-yard line. They might mark him right at. No, mark him about the 39, just shy of the 40. Good scamper. Gain of about 8 on the play by the senior quarterback.
And that's one thing that an offense can do. If a running quarterback, or a dual threat quarterback, I should say, like Cooper Simmons Little, who can escape the pocket and get downfield and be an effective rusher, he can help this running game by taking off when it's available.
2nd and 2. Oh, the ball is dropped behind the running back, Kirk, and it looks like a turnover. What a back-breaking play. Jet Foster came up with it for Covenant Christian, and another turnover by the Knights, and the Warriors look to capitalize.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there. I think the snap was more to Simmons Little's left side, and he tried to hand it off. The exchange from the quarterback to the running back wasn't clean, as we see it here to the left, while the running back's moving to the right and never got into the belly. Loose ball picked up by the Warriors.
Jet Foster, the senior, was the one who scooped up the fumble, his first ever fumble recovery in a game, in a varsity game. Now 1st and 10, new life again for the Warriors. Here's Bryant. Nice run by Noah as he gets it inside the 25-yard line.
Oh, nice shifty little move by Bryant. He was able to put his right foot in the ground and plant back to the middle of the field and gain an extra 7 or 8 yards after that reception. Nice positive play for the Warriors on 1st down.
First catch of the game by Noah Bryant. It is his 3rd catch of the season, gain of 7.
And now your playbook's wide open with only 2 yards to get to a 1st down. Looks like Traders Point's all at the line of scrimmage in the box.
Yeah, 0 coverage over the top. Blitz coming, it is. Throw, if it's caught, it'll be a touchdown. What a breakup by Moran.
Just thrown a step behind him. If he leads him a little bit, that's 6 on the board. But good closing coverage by Moran, able to break that up and make it a 3rd and 2.
If you think the difference in that throw is like an inch or 2 out of his hand, just the difference between being in front or behind. It'll be 3rd down and 2. 8:25 to go, 3rd quarter. Covenant Christian looking to put a backbreaker here. So far, Traders Point hasn't allowed it, and they don't have any safeties deep on this possession either. They're all coming in. Bryant trying to run for it, and the big, strong paw of Hawk Johnson. Did it keep him short? That'll be the question. No, it didn't. 1st down, Covenant Christian.
Boy, Hawk tried his best. He was on the ground and had him almost, I think, by the sock there, Jonathan, to try to keep him from getting that 1st down. But a nice spin move there by Bryant to dive forward and pick up 2 yards.
And Hawk Johnson, the star linebacker for Traders Point, an impressive story. Tore his ACL before last year's season in the spring. Missed all his junior year, and he's back playing this season. And he got hit in the shin last week, and opponents or the coaches on the sideline were screaming no audibly, but he's still playing, making plays. But John Neighbors makes the bigger play and scores.
great blocking up front, a little trap play by the offensive line. They're able to pin those defensive tackles. Neighbor sees the big hole up in the front and explodes for the touchdown.
How about another peek?
There you see just the pulling guards able to create that wide hole right up in the middle. Neighbor sees it, sprints through it for the touchdown.
35-13. And Traders Point in a world of hurt now. Third touchdown of the game for Neighbors, his longest run of the game. That 22-yard scamper by Neighbors now has 48 yards on 10 carries. The extra point is good, and it is 36-13. Covenant Christian spoiling senior night on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Four plays, 36 yards, and a 22-yard touchdown run by John Neighbors. His third touchdown run of the game. That's 55 rushing yards for Covenant Christian, which 55 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's been enough. And it is a 20-point lead, 23-point lead over Traders Point. And the Knights now with just over 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go, they need a lot of help. And Dunville, trying to squirt his way through, gets across the 25, made something out of nothing. But it's getting, it's now, you got to go now if you're the Knights.
You got to go now, and you got to score. And now time is also part of the problem, too. Although there's still plenty of time in the game, if you don't score every possession, then it becomes a big factor. But have kudos to Central or Covenant Christian there on that play. That's a play that they haven't shown all night, that little inside trap play to get Neighbors free into the end zone. So they pulled that out and maybe saw that on film or saw that something that they practiced during the week that they knew they could have a big hitter there.
1st and 10, 7:40 to go. Simmons Little checks us over to Shavy. Shavy, can he make a man miss? He can get a little extra. Now at about 39. There has been a cramping problem for Traders Point throughout this game. A lot of the Knights having those issues, and we'll see if that hinders them.
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
Isn't that what they say? Pickle juice?
You could do that. You could do Pedialyte.
Yeah, that's very true.
Or just
Gatorade.
Pound the Gatorade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Powerade. I don't want to. You don't want to take away the Powerade audience. 1st and 10. Oh boy.
There's the false start on.
And one of the players out right now is the starting center, Nick Bartles. And the backup, Camden Noblet, didn't get that play off, and it's hurting the Knights at the moment. 1st and 15. 7:34 to go, third quarter. And the Knights need to be very efficient. Simmons Little, this would help. Moran scoots out of bounds. Across the 40-yard line, not quite to the 45.
Well, I looked for Covenant Christian if they know that there's some injuries in some of the starters out of the offensive line to maybe bring some pressure. Right now, you just got 3 down linemen, at least at the last one, and they're playing more coverage.
And here's a flag. Got a lot of penalties in this game.
That might be too many men on the field. I think Traders was going really fast there.
Yeah, legal procedure of some fashion, and it'll be free yardage.
That'll create a first down.
Oh, there you go. A legal substitution, and so the ball now on the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for Traders Point. Receivers on the field, Eli Mills, top of your screen. Colton Pollard been quiet since the first quarter. In the slot, Shavy closest to the line, and Moran at the bottom. Simmons Little looking deep for Philip Moran. He's got a step, but he overthrew him.
One-on-one coverage, and that's something that Cooper Simmons Little likes, is his odds with Philip Moran. Moran with 5 catches for 66 yards there in that first half. So he likes that matchup, and they've been able to hook up and been very successful, but unable there at that time. Covenant's doing a good job of mixing up their game plan here on defense.
7:21 to go, and yeah, if you have a 1,200-yard receiver like Moran, might as well give him some shots. And another fumble and a recovery by Covenant Christian.
And that's tough. You're trying so hard to make some positive plays and make things happen. And, again, I think it was just more of an exchange problem there between the quarterback and the running back.
And it looked like Joshua Williams fell on that fumble, and turnovers along with penalties have been a killer to this Traders Point team. And you saw Justin Kirk, the cornerback, top of your screen. He's angry about it. Here's the running back on the play. And Covenant Christian, we're looking at how efficient Traders Point had to be. This is an opportunity for Covenant Christian begin to flick out a couple of lights. Can the defense for Traders Point rise up again? A flick downfield and just beyond the grasp.
Now that's a popular play after a turnover to see if you can get a deep shot there on a scoring play and continue that momentum. Nice play action pass. Flat rolled out, just throw it a little too high for his intended receiver.
We have a Knight down on the field. We'll take a breather, try to identify him, and be back in a moment on IndianaSRN.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back. Calvin Falk was cramping up on the field and helped off. 1st and 10, or second down. Second down and long for Covenant Christian. Blitz arriving. Bryant running away from it. Now cuts back and gets to the 42-yard line. Pat Cherry Insurance. Our staff will provide you over 40 years of trusted experience and knowledge to help protect your assets. Visit us today so we can put a plan in place for you and your family. 317-894-7000 or email us at pat@cherryinsurance.com.
No underscore.
No underscore. Just straight up. You just keep typing until you get to that final M.
That's right.
6:30 to go, third quarter. 3rd down and 6. Another blitz arriving. Doesn't get there. Here's out to the boundary. Ross finally makes a grab. He had been 0 for his last 3, at least on targets, but he comes through, and it's a first down for Covenant Christian.
Yeah, just a nice little 5-yard stopper out by Ross, and he was able to catch it, do a little dance to add a couple other yards and secure the first down and keep that clock running and keep those chains moving. That's all Covenant wants to do right now.
That's 14.3 yards receiving for Ross. 43 yards on 3 catches.
And he had a nice throw early in the first half on a reverse pass.
Multi-tooled.
Yeah, multi-tool.
Kept by Flat. Checks it down. Completes it to Tyndall. This could be trouble. One cut by Gavin. He's inside the 10 and down at the 8-yard line.
A nice decision by Flat, throwing the safe pass. Tyndall, the safety valve there, out to his right, able to make a man miss. And once you make a man miss, whenever you spread out the defense, you've got plenty of green in front of you, and he's able to take it all the way inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal from the 9.
6:14 to go. 11 for 24 is Tony Flat. Back-to-back completions for the senior quarterback.
I look for a heavy dose here of the ground game with
We'll do a little screen, a long run play. Tyndall, foot race to the end zone, and Covenant Christians piling it on.
Nice catch also by Tyndall there. Those frog gloves were sticky enough right over his head. Was able to catch it and take it to the house. 4-6.
42-13. Waning stages of this third quarter in a game that had been so close through the first half, and then 5:45 to go in this third, and Covenant Christian beginning to pull away because of turnovers, Clark Chafin.
First 2 possessions, right? Quarterback, running back exchange on the turf. Johnny on the spot. The Knights have picked it up and have converted 2 touchdowns off of those 2 turnovers.
43-13. 30-point lead by Covenant Christian on IndianaSRN.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back, everybody. 30-point lead, and how we got there is like this.
Yeah, you see the pistol formation. We have a play-action pass. Tyndall just out in the flat, catches it, freezes the defender, and has the angle to the end zone. Munoz with a great block also on the perimeter. 6 more added for Covenant plus the extra point. And they're up to a 30-point lead here as we near the end of the third quarter.
What's interesting with all the onside kick, and that ball rolls out of bounds, and then just how these possessions have played out, getting the ball to begin the second half, onside kick. Covenant Christian's got 2 more possessions than Traders Point has so far this game. And if you add up the turnovers, Traders Point's limited themselves with their chances to score in this.
Yeah, we even started with that first possession of the second half, how critical that was. And they get the ball back after giving up one first down, and then they follow that up then with 2 turnovers. And that has led to Covenant having 2 scores on that. The kick out of bounds, I think Traders Point says they're going to want Covenant to kick it again and make them run down the field again. So they're going to take it back 5 yards, and the kick will come in from the 35 instead of the 40.
Hey, I got a little historical tidbit for you, Clark.
I'm all ears.
This today, 1971, great day for Bobby Orr, the great Boston Bruin. He signed a 5-year contract worth $1 million, the first $1 million contract in NHL history today.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
This will be, he's going to have to return it. Dunville. Oh, this is either going to be great or really bad.
Good pursuit and containment there by Covenant Christian, making sure that Sam Lyons did an awesome job of keeping him pinned inside so he couldn't get out, and everybody else flew to the ball.
And Jet Foster on the tackle, and I think they were looking risk and reward. They're going for the the high-risk, high-reward play. Let's let Dunville have a shot at it, and then they get worse field position.
Well, you're down 30. You're just trying to make plays, and hopefully you're trying to think that Covenant might be a little winded by that running down for the kickoff for the second time, but they had good pursuit, and Traders Point turn.
Well, there's 17 minutes and 35 seconds left in this game for Traders Point to save themselves, but they're going to start back. Another offsides penalty. Oh, this one's against Covenant Christian. So we're looking at 24 penalties in this game between these two teams for 186 yards. Only Traders Point has thrown for more of any of the units in this game. Simmons Little chased. Simmons Little is going down just across the 20-yard line. Great pursuit there. From behind, I think that was 66. Well, it's a good play.
Yeah, Jeffrey Liu able to pursue Cooper Simmons Little. He didn't give up. I think that was the one thing I took away from that play. Boy, he was determined to get him, and as Simmons Little stopped to throw the ball, he was able to put his hands on him and get the sack.
Yeah, Jeffrey Liu, Min Chen Liu, they call him Jeffries, as explained to me. Shavy, oh, that play got annihilated, well sniffed out by Sam Lyons, a sophomore cornerback.
Yeah, Sam made a good play there on special teams, and same thing, was able to, wide receiver screen, was able to get past that offensive block and bring down for a loss.
Third down. .420 to go. Simmons Little has a man open, but he missed Moran. There was a blitz in his face, and a pass was wide of Philip Moran. And out comes what looks like the punting unit for Traders Point. And Covenant Christian is a touchdown away from a running clock, and you can see Cooper Simmons Little looks a little dejected at the moment.
Yeah, and also maybe kind of favoring that arm when he took a hit earlier, but got to give credit to Covenant and putting pressure on Traders Point as forcing the punt. Down 30, way too deep in their own possession to go, or own field position to go for it. Here comes the punt by the Knights.
Yeah, sending away Mason Smith. Caught by Ross. Well played by Nick Dearman. Snuffed that out, stuck with it, well timed. And Covenant Christian will take over.
Nice tackle by the sophomore.
What's interesting, Clark, Traders Point, since their last touchdown, they've ended on drives, punted, ended on downs, fumbled, punted.
And for a team that was so explosive there in the first quarter, getting these big chunk plays and getting the ball down the field through the air, it's that consistency is going to be something that they're going to try to have to strive for and work on in practice to just continue to be more in tune with timing and execution.
And Nick Bartles, number 75, back in the game. Hackett shows blitz. Handoff here. Bryant running hard. Dearman stands him up, and Hawk Johnson finishes him off.
And that's with Traders Point being down, they're going to sacrifice maybe some form and fundamental tackling for trying to rip that ball out and to create a turnover. So if you're a Covenant Christian running back, if you're Noah Bryant, if you're John Neighbors, it's your job to hold on to that ball, stay in bounds, keep that clock running. If you're Traders Point, you got to do anything, everything, get that ball back for your offense.
Ball on the 48-yard line, second down and reasonable for Covenant Christian. 3:30 to go in the third.
Still staying in that pistol formation.
And ain't broke, don't fix it. Here's Flat, checks it out to Tyndall. That one he got in front of him, and Gavin Tyndall with room to run. Eludes Schoenfeld and scores!
That's just the play like they scored on earlier. It's just a little play-action pass where Tyndall just goes out to the flat. The defensive back is just flowing to the back end of the field. Tyndall catches it, makes a man miss, and then it's all speed down the sideline for 6.
47 yards for Gavin Tyndall, 103 receiving for Tyndall. And Tony Flatt has gone over 3,000 yards for his career as a passer at Covenant Christian. And we'll check that out in a second after this extra point. So it'll be a running clock from here on out as the kick is up and no good. Still a 36-point margin, and the touchdown looked like this. A lot happened on this play, Clark.
Yeah, and it's very similar to what we've seen Covenant Christian go to. In the pistol formation, you get that play action pass. And just rolling out to Tyndall. Good downfield blocking, makes the safety mix, and it's off to the races. No one's going to catch Gavin Tyndall with his second touchdown in as many possessions.
Indiana Mulch and Stone, since inception in 1987, Indiana Mulch and Stone has been dedicated to providing the highest quality products to landscapers, businesses, and residents in central Indiana. Our first priority and foremost goal is to establish long-term relationships with our customers by offering exceptional service and the highest quality landscape products. This philosophy has defined our success for the last 35 years and will continue for decades and decades to follow. Follow them at indianamulch.com.
Got some scores. Jonathan Carmel takes the lead over Center Grove 27-24. We have finals. Handled Southeastern 45, North Central 14. Whiteland defeats Lawrence North 24-13.
Yeah, the Hoosier Crossroads has looked pretty good against the MIC in these first 2 weeks. Brownsburg beat Ben Davis. Here's Dearman. And then the result you just said was it Noblesville? You're at Hamilton Southeastern, clobbering North Central.
Hamilton Southeastern with a nice offensive performance. They were in control of that game the entire time.
28-yard line. Knights will take over there. First and 10.
First and 10. Clock will be rolling the rest of the way.
2 minutes, third quarter.
2 minutes to go here in the third. Cooper Simmons Little. What can Traders Point salvage from a game that began so promisingly? Here's a throw to Pollard, and this is a play they love. Up the middle, Colton Pollard stiff arms a man and gets across the 30.
Carbon copy of what we saw in the first quarter there. Jonathan Pollard down the middle and able to use that stiff arm to gain some extra yardage. Now they'll be in hurry-up formation.
42 yards for Colton Pollard on that play. He's really putting up some good numbers here in the early stages of this football season. Simmons Little looks for him again, but Pollard not able to secure it. So it'll be second down and 10.
Pass is incomplete. Second down and 10.
And here's a play on that Pollard long reception. Just going to find a hole in the zone. The defense kind of relaxed. Good pursuit, though, by the safety, Sam Lyons, to bring him down.
1 minute to go. Here's Shavy. This is developing well. Oh, he couldn't split it. Dowdle, who got burned on the Pollard touchdown, was able to hang in there with it and bring him down. So ball on the 15-yard line. First and 10.
2-minute offense here for the Knights.
And you can see it, 32 seconds to go, 30 seconds to go. And Kirk just not able to get anything going in the run game, and that is going to haunt the Knights all season if they can't get that going.
If they can't make some one-dimensional and the defense can pin their ears back and just really go and attack the passing game.
12 seconds to go. Simmons Little. Reffett, first carry of the game, gets inside the 5, and now will flip ends. As Traders Point finally has a good drive going for him, but the scoreboard is heavily in favor of Covenant Christian. The Warriors with a commanding lead here at the end of the third quarter, 49-13 on IndianaSRN. First and goal once they get down there.
That might be the longest walk that they'll have to have, right?
It's about as long as you can go. What I thought was interesting, our statistician Tom Santamon pointed out that the longest drive that Covenant Christian has had in number of plays was 9, and they didn't even score. It ended up at halftime. Like, it took them to halftime. And then Traders Point had a 13-yard play to begin the game and ended up scoring a touchdown. But Covenant Christian's drives have all been short, sweet, and to the point. Or a turnover. Here's Reffitt looking for his first career touchdown and won't get it.
Good gang tackling. Reffitt with a strong body, moving those legs, trying to move the pile. Covenant is able to gang tackle him outside for a no gain.
Yeah, Reffitt, a freshman, 5'10", 175. Good size for Frosch. Kirk is back in. Second and goal. Schoenveld in at H-back with that pink sleeves, and Kirk will score. That's his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, nice play there for Traders Point. Just found a gap and some space right there on the right side and was able to shoot through. And it looks like Traders Point's going to kick an extra point. As here we see the snap. Kirk being able to find some space and get his speed away from the backside pursuit. And touchdown for Kirk.
8 plays, 72 yards, including the big one, the pitch and catch from Cooper Simmons-Little to Colton Pollard to spark everything. Extra point is stuffed. But, that's about as definitive a block as you can get. Akeem Olajuwon would have liked it.
Austin Cooper got up for that, yeah. There were probably 2 or 3 of them could have actually had a hand on that, but Cooper able to get through the offensive line. The 6'1" player was able to jump up and block that extra point.
10:44 to go in the game, and Covenant Christian will get the ball back. Clock will continue to run, even though the Traders Point has trimmed it 49-19. If you look just defensively for Traders Point, 55 points given up in game 1, 49 so far here in game 2. South Newton coming up to begin September, then Park Tudor's Tough. That's on September 9th. Covenant Christian, we're playing Adams Central next week.
That's
often up North Putnam.
Yeah, and that's at Taylor University, so that'll be a fun game that we'll bring to you next Friday night.
A nice venue.
Looking forward to that.
You know, Taylor University in Upland, Indiana, they have, with very little competition, one of the best ice cream shops in the whole state, if not the world. Ivanhoe's. Ivanhoe's it's been around forever, and they have a contest where you can get try all the shakes or ice cream, and you get like a T-shirt. Onside kick, Bryant, and it is A, crowded, B, worth it.
Well, my mom always said if it was crowded, then it must be good, and everybody likes it, so you should go.
It's good. It is very good.
Well, the Silent Night, too, for Taylor University, right? That's what they're also known for, right?
They are known for Silent Night. Our producer, Greg Smith, asked how many have I tried. I've tried 3, so I'm way behind.
Well, what's
the mint chocolate chip, I tried that, and I was like, oh, this is it. And so I've kind of stuck with it. They have 3 different versions of mint.
Really?
You can get mint Oreo. It's really, and it's like, it's good. And that's something that our friends at Covenant Christian can get to experience coming up in a week's time. New quarterback in, Tony Cruz. We saw him earlier in this game to relieve Tony Flatt, and now he's in handing the ball off to Bryant.
And I would anticipate Covenant a heavy dose of ground attack, and if they don't get a first down, just punting the ball away. Trying to execute this game plan on the ground here, kind of like more of a 5-minute offense type of feel for him.
9:30 to go. Bryant now 17 yards on the ground today. Cruz, just a freshman and a future bright for him. They're very high on him over just outside Speedway, Indiana. Here's a flick of the wrist, and it's a little shy by Cruz.
And just as I said, they'll run the ball every time we get a play-action pass roll out. But that's fine. You want the young man to get some experience and to execute those plays.
Now, way to nail that one there, Nostradamus.
I'm telling you, I had it all. The announcer curse again.
That was on the intended receiver was Sam Lyons, who is subs in. 8:40 to go. As the clock will continue to run here in the fourth quarter. Covenant Christian with the commanding lead in Indiana high school football. When you get over 35, basically anytime that happens, it's going to be a running clock. Third down and long, and it looks like we have a timeout. Oh, delay a game. So Tony Cruz, the freshman, commits his first penalty.
We haven't had any of those tonight, though. So
no, very few penalties.
He'll learn from that. And
12 by Covenant Christian, 13 by Traders Point for 191 between them.
That's a lot.
That's almost circumnavigating the field, which is down and back. Cruz in big trouble. Can he get out of it? No. Calvin Falk took him down, and it's a fourth down. Might give Traders Point another shot at this.
I thought it was a good job by Cruz of holding on to the ball. Traders Point was in heavy pursuit, and he had the ball in one hand as he was trying to think about trying to throw it, and luckily he was able to cover it up. Good job by Traders Point to get the sack.
So back will go Luke Munoz to punt. He's been a little busy today. There he is with the orange shoes.
Orange shoes?
Ish. It kind of actually matches our logo on the top of the screen.
How about it?
That's like the same shade of orange.
We need to put our SRN circle logo on those shoes.
Yeah, when name, image, and likeness comes to high school football, that'll be an IndianaSRN shoe.
Another delay of game penalty for Covenant as they get everyone organized. And a score like this, you're going to have people maybe in some different spots. Certainly it's the second game of the year as well, so organization and make sure everyone's right.
A lot of second-team players are in for Covenant Christian. Not so much for Traders Point. Eli Meals will let it go.
And gets a friendly roll.
So it might be the final possession of the game, depending on how fast Traders Point goes. But the clock will continue to run, will not slow down. Center Grove leads Carmel 31-27 late. 2:25 to go in this one. Or 2:25 to go in that game. 2:25 to go in that game. 6 minutes to go in our game, which is you've tuned to the right spot. We've been very happy and thankful to have you with us. Here's Cooper Simmons Little, airs it out. And is off the pinky of Pollard. It'll be second down and 10. And a big thanks again from our crew. Tom St. Amand, Justin Griffiths, Greg Smith, Clark Chafin, and I'm Jonathan Mathis. Thank you for spending your Friday evening, or at least parts of it, with us. That was Cooper Simmons Little's 35th pass of the game. He threw 46 of them last week. Not exactly a balanced offense, but when you're behind, you're going to be throwing it a lot.
Certainly become one-dimensional, and if you're behind, you're trying to get points as quickly as you can.
Illegal substitution by the Warriors. So that is penalty number 26 between our two teams. Handoff, nice run. Kirk kicks it outside. Gets by one. Can he cut back on Dowdle? He lowered his shoulder across the 30.
Kirk running hard here. The nice play here at the end of the game. Kind of just a draw play as the defense fades back to protect from the long pass. Kirk was able to kick that out in the perimeter and go to the left-hand side and run for a nice gain.
55 on the run by Justin Kirk. Simmons Little will air this one out. Looks towards the end zone, and his receiver fell. Looks like they're going to say their feet tangled.
Pressure coming from Covenant's defensive lineman, Austin Cooper, got past the tackle of Traders Point. Maybe forced Cooper Simmons to throw that a little sooner than he wanted to.
4 minutes to go. Second and long, but within striking distance for Traders Point. Here's Kirk. No, it's Cooper Simmons Little on the fake, gets inside the 15. Nice job by Cooper Simmons Little, and well sold by Justin Kirk.
Yeah, there's that run pass option. We didn't see Cooper Simmons Little keep it much that first half. Matter of fact, I think that may be his only keep out of that formation. He has ran some out of a passing situation, but a nice gain on that option.
Best run of the day, puts him back in positive numbers. 12 on the game after a 15-yard rush. Throw towards the end zone, has a man, touchdown. That's Ryan Kowal.
That's an impressive throw also by Cooper Simmons Little. He's on the other side of the hash, throws that across field, and had a nice tight spiral with a deep ball on the out pattern there by Kowal. Sophomore gets a touchdown reception. Looks like they're going to go for one. Simmons Little gets set to take the snap as the kicker comes on, Mason Smith.
Third touchdown of the pass of the game by Cooper Simmons Little. First of the season by Kowal. That was up and good. 49-26, Covenant Christian leads. Traders Point making the score look more respectable, but still 23-point deficit with the running clock. And we'll take a break. You're watching IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back, everybody. Remember, replay of that last touchdown after this kickoff return. A little poocher. Ross, replay.
Nice scoop there by Ross on the pooch kick as he was the safety valve, the only one back. They kicked it over the two lines of returners as we go back to the Traders Point touchdown. Cooper Simmons Little airs it out to the deep corner over to Caldwell and beats his defender to the end zone for a touchdown.
2 minutes to go in this one, and in our post game we'll have, stick around for a little bit, we'll have a couple record-breaking passing to re-show, and then we have a player of the game to get you up to date on. And we thank you very much for joining us on IndianaSRN as Tony Cruz still stays in at quarterback. Second game of his high school career, and he flings this one out, has a completion to Lyons, who gets it up to the 34-yard line as the clock will continue to roll. And I think, Clark, you just kind of look at this game at a lot of what-ifs.
Certainly the changes in momentum, the touchdown that was called back from the penalty and the interception that was called back from the penalty, things, the onside kick. There was 4 or 5 plays that definitely could have changed the outlook of this game, or at least early on in the game could have definitely swung in more Traders Point's favor.
Here's a handoff. Looks good for Brian. Oh, nice spin move. Did it again. Across midfield and down at the 49 before being tackled by Shavy.
That's the 0 button on the old PlayStation right there. He did a nice job of not only once but twice getting out, crossing midfield, and
there'll be probably one more play in this game, and if it's anything like that last one from Noah Bryan, it'll be a delight. Under a minute to play, clock running. Covenant Christian not in the biggest of hurries, don't need to be. Going to be 1-1 after this game, and Bryant gets punched backwards. A gain of about 4 on the play. 10 seconds to go, and we'll count that one down. Covenant Christian, after a disheartening defeat last week to Speedway 41-0, comes back thunderously against Traders Point and wins 49-26 over the Knights. The yards gained heavily in favor of Traders Point, mostly through the air. 374 for the Knights to 298 for Covenant Christian. Traders Point was 285 through the air to the Warriors 215. Traders Point outrushed Covenant Christian 89-83, but penalties, turnovers, starting field position, all the winning plays that felt this game went towards the Warriors.
And they were able to capitalize on those mistakes there early in the second half from Traders Point. Those fumbles led to touchdowns and took them to really just controlling the second half and ultimately going up 35 and getting that running clock. So Covenant Christian with a nice response after their week 1 loss. Got on the board early and got on the board often, come away with a 49-26 win tonight at Traders Point. On senior night at that, Traders Point celebrating their seniors. That's always an emotional game for those kids as well.
Some individual stats for you. Tony Flatt, 13 of 26 for 206 yards, 3 touchdowns to 2 picks, but he also went over 3,000 for his career. For Traders Point in the quarterbacking spot, Cooper Simmons-Little, he set the new passing mark for Traders Point. He was 20 of 37 for 285 yards. That is the second game in a row he's been well over 275. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. On the ground, Justin Kirk for Traders Point ended up putting up some big numbers, but 55 of his 58 yards came on his last carry of the game. He had a touchdown. He had 11 carries. And then I'll let you talk about him, but a player we'll honor with our player of the game, John Neighbors. He had 11 carries for 55 yards, which doesn't sound great, but 3 touchdowns and was very efficient on defense everywhere.
Yeah, he had a complete game, but focusing on those touchdowns, he got the game going for Covenant Christian with his first touchdown at the season, got him on the board, and then he had 2 touchdowns there at the beginning of the third quarter for 3 total touchdowns. As you said, 11 carries for 55 yards. He is our player of the game.
Up next for Traders Point, they're 0-2 on the season. Will be a visit to South Newton. And for Covenant Christian, now 1-1. They will be playing Adams Central at Taylor University. So on behalf of our crew, Justin Griffiths on camera, Greg Smith, our producer, Tom St. Amon, our statistician, Clark Chafin, and myself, Jonathan Mathis, thank you for joining us. Covenant Christian wins on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.